some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
It's what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
It's what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
It's what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
Barbershop Conversation, guys. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. That's not what leaders do, man. Lamar, you can't do that. You know what I mean? You got to do that shit in the huddle, man, or on the sideline. You know what I mean? But anyways, Barbershop Conversation, guys. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. And Wives is out 9. Lincoln, close the door, please, brother. Love you. Come here, man. Last thing I want to tell you. Do what you what? All right. Love you. All right. Yeah, his office was a mess. You know what I mean? So it's taking 30 minutes away from his 30 minutes away from his do whatever you want to do time. But anyways, man, hopefully everybody's well. Hopefully everyone's having a great day. And hopefully any update on the young man that fought David Morrell. Anyone have an update? Feel free to give an update. We appreciate that. I don't know what's going on. I gotta go to boxing scene. I ain't been boxing scene in a couple of days, it feels like. What else is going on in the sport? The WBC convention has started. We'll see. It kicks off tomorrow. I actually watched the Boxing Voice today because they're there. And I think that's pretty cool, man. And by the way, I just want y'all to know this. Let the record show that Dante's Boxing Nation and Fred Hawthorne did the first remote live in YouTube history, boxing history. I just want y'all to remember we got kicked out and everybody was laughing. Ha ha, y'all got kicked out. I think Dante deleted that video because because the haters were laughing at us because Bernie kicked us out. This is like 10 years ago. And lo and behold, it is the thing to do now. Can you believe that, y'all? Can you believe that? We did the first play-by-play, y'all. No cap, all facts. And but yeah, man, that's the stone cold truth. Hopefully everybody's well. Sean Porter said something interesting, and it was just brought to my attention. Sean Porter said something, and Sean Porter is a perennial all-time great hater. He's the all-time greatest hater in the history of boxing, man. And he said Terrence Crawford is stubborn. I don't know if it's true or not. Maybe he is, maybe he's not, but he says that as it relates to negotiations. Sean Porter got his career high payday against Terrence Crawford, right? He retired with a $4 million retirement plan, which is amazing, right? Especially for a fighter like him that doesn't draw. The fact that he's hating on Terrence Crawford, which in turns, understand this, because the Earl Spence fans are like, oh, you did this. No, I'm advocating for Earl Spence because he's taking money out of Earl Spence's pocket. And he says Terrence Crawford is stubborn. He's out there pinch hitting for Al Heyman. He is like Al Heyman's like a Doberman pincher. You know what I mean? Well, Sean is not really a fighter. He's a nice guy. So he's like a chow dog. You know what I mean? One of them dogs, you know what I mean, that's friendly to everybody, and it's sickening how much of a hater he is, man. I think he intentionally wants to take money out of Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence's pocket. I don't want this fight to happen. No, I don't want this fight. No, I don't want these guys making more money than no. I'm the man that should be the middleman in this fight. I fought both of them. I should be the one giving the information. He already fucked up. He said, oh, the fight gonna happen in January. The fight ain't happening in January, Sean. If y'all want to know anything about PBC, come see me. All right, come see me. That's all I'm saying. All right. And that's a stone cold truth. But it's company man, right? He has replaced Andre Ward as boxing's perennial all-time great company man. And it's Sean got to get with the program. Sean's weakness is he can't be cool. He tries, but he can't. Like that's his biggest weakness, is that he can't relate to basically the cool boxing fans. No one ever comes up to him and be like, Sean, man, I appreciate it. Everyone always comes up to, man, you a hard fighter, man, I appreciate you. No one ever comes up to him and say, man, you doing some great commentating or You know, I think he wish he had a little bit of Adrian Broner in him. Anyway, that's enough about Sean Porter. I gave him 5 minutes. Interception. The game is over. Game is over. And I'm gonna tell you one thing before I keep going. I have a lot of concerns about his dress code is wiggity witty whack. I ain't gonna lie. I thought he had tights on today, but those were pants. I was like, damn. But when you first retire, you got to get acclimated to who you really are. You know what I'm saying? Because these guys are so. A lot of these fighters, when they retire, they have self-image issues. I'm not saying Sean Porter does. By no means am I saying Sean Porter does. I'm saying like the reality of this thing. When you've been watching your weight for 30 years, you got self-image issues, you know, and I don't know if Sean has it. I don't know what fighter has it, but if you've been trying to make weight since you were 6 years old, I mean, you look at yourself in the mirror, be like, man, if I don't see no abs, man, I got to go run 30, you know. So he has to get acclimated to his new self. You know what I mean? But he needs to go a size higher, you know, so he can look. I mean, because no man's pants should be tighter than a woman's. That's all I'm saying. If your girl's wearing tights, you shouldn't be wearing tights. If your girl has her hair in a ponytail, you shouldn't have your hair in a ponytail. If your girl is wearing braids, you shouldn't be wearing braids. Only time that's acceptable if you're wearing locks. That's it. You know what I'm saying? He gave the ball to his son. That's beautiful. They got a handshake. That's beautiful. But yeah, man, it's anyways, what was I talking about? Oh, Lamar Jackson. I don't know if he's accurate enough, man. He got every attribute. He missed 3 throws today that I'm very alarmed about. It was 2 on the last drive, and he missed a post corner. I'm not sure if you guys know what a post corner is. A post corner is when you run a slant and then turn it into an out to the corner. So you're supposed to run into the back pylon. And he had a guy wide open, and he overthrew it. And then he missed a post route. See, a post route is a very challenging throw because you got to look a safety off. And he wasn't confident enough to lay it in there. You know, he kind of overthrew him. He kind of threw. The reason why they call it a post, some of you guys aren't football players. The reason why they call it a post is because you're supposed to lay the ball to the post, to the field goal post. You're supposed to lay it. And he threw it behind him. So he missed about 4 throws today, which is critical. You understand what I'm saying? Can he beat? Here's what I say. And understand this ain't about pro black, because you got to make these throws, man. And I said this when we started the football season. I don't know if Lamar Jackson can beat 3 elite quarterbacks in a row to win a Super Bowl. I think he can beat 1, especially if you get home court advantage, home field advantage, and they got to go to Baltimore in that cold weather with the wind chill coming off the water. I think that's a huge advantage for him. But I don't know if he can beat 3 elite quarterbacks. You know, I don't know if he can beat the kid from Buffalo. I don't know if he can beat the kid from now Miami. And there's a handful of others, but I don't know if he can beat Mahomes. What's up, Natasha? Because I don't know if he can. I don't know if he can score 28 to 35 points to beat Kansas City at Kansas City. You know, so it's gonna be real interesting. It's gonna be real interesting to see. Now in his 4th or 5th year, I'm not mesmerized by the running shit. You know, when he first came into the league, I was mesmerized by it. Damn, that nigga bad. Now I just want this motherfucker. Yeah, Joe Flacco also had the best defense since the Giants. Excuse me. Come here, Lincoln. What'd you say? Okay. All right. Since the Giants, since the 85 Bears, since the Giants, I think that defense was sick, man. That was Ray Lewis last year, man. They were powered by God. Motherfucker came back from he had a torn elbow and he put antler spray. they come up with all these stories, man. Antler spray or something like that on them, and they went on to win the Super Bowl. But that was a hell of a defense, man. And you had Ed Reed in the back. You had the kid from Arizona State. What's the guy's name? Suggs on the front line. You had Ray Lewis in the middle, and you had Ed Reed in the back in the secondary. Shit, 3 Hall of Famers. So I mean, that was a hell of a run by them that year. But Joe Flacco was an elite quarterback, man. He don't get the credit he deserves because he plays in cold weather and they run first and they depended on defense. So he made a lot of safe throws. But Joe Flacco was a bad son of a gun. He was a bad son of a gun, man, in his prime. Out of Boston. I remember him out of Boston College. He was a hell of a player. Hell of a player, man. But it gets lost in the wash, though. You know what I mean? But that was a hell of a team. But yeah, anything else in boxing? Anything else? WBC convention. I'm very interested to see on Wednesday. Tomorrow's Tuesday, so we're 48 hours away from seeing what the WBC is going to do. No, Ray Lewis came back for the playoffs, Jerry. Man, do I know your team better than you? I told you he was out with a torn elbow, remember? And they put antler spray on him. How do I know more about your team than you? Jeez Louise. Man, he came back. Remember, he had that big old brace on, and he said it was God, and it was this, it was that. Nah, he was a hell of a quarterback. He was a good quarterback. It was a system. If he's a bad quarterback, then you got to say Phil Simms is a bad quarterback. What's up, Phantom Brawler? And I thought Phil Simms was a very accurate, safe quarterback. But the defense, he had 10 years where he had the best football player in the world, and he had the best linebacking core. I think him and the New Orleans Saints at the time had the 2 best linebacking cores. You had Pat Swilling, Pepper Johnson. No, you had Pat Swilling, Sam Mills, and Ray Jackson for the New Orleans Saints. I remember that linebackers core. And then you had for the Giants, they ran a 3-4. You had Carl Banks, Pepper Johnson, Gary Reasons, and LT. You're a bad man when people don't even say your name; they just call you LT. Yeah. All right, I'll just agree with you, Jerry. But I just know Joe Flacco against the Denver Broncos going into halftime made one of the most unbelievable throws. Him and he made the throws that needed to be happening. They were underdogs against the Denver Broncos in Denver. Do you remember that game, Jerry? And it was a Saturday night game, and he threw that ball, and they caught that ball going into halftime and ended up blowing out Denver Broncos. Man, Jerry, don't have me tell you about your team more than, please, Jerry. That's a hell of a throw. In the playoffs, you're not gonna. You're playing against the best teams. It's like a fighter in boxing, fighting at the championship level. You don't get knockouts. You just win 7-5, 8-4. And in the Super Bowl and the championship level, they went to Denver, and Joe Flacco had to make a throw before halftime. And guess what he did? He made that throw. Yeah. I would say I know you're a season ticket. You told us already. Derrick Thomas, when he had 7 sacks against Dave Craig. I remember that game. Who was the other guy? Neil Smith. It was Neil Smith, Derrick Thomas. Who was the other linebacker on the Kansas City team? I'm drawing a blank. He was pretty good. Darryl Talley? No, Darryl Talley was Buffalo. But Derrick Thomas he's second to LT. He was dominant. LT on one side, Derrick Thomas on the other side by far. How did he die? A plane accident? How did he pass? How did Derrick Thomas pass? I just remember as a kid being sad, because that was big freaking news. How did Derrick Thomas die? I think it was a plane, right? No, pulmonary embolism. Wow. After Chiefs 99 scenes, Derrick Thomas was rendered paraplegic by a car crash and died 2 weeks later from pulmonary embolism. He was, damn. Car accident, huh? Damn. Damn. Car accident, huh? No, his father was. Did he like Did he like planes? It was something have to do with military planes with Derrick Thomas. I just remember that as a kid. Was his dad in the military? Or something like that? Why was planes such a big deal for Derrick Thomas? Can y'all help me with that? Was Derrick Thomas in the military or his dad in the military or something like that? I remember planes flying over. Oh shit. Someone else died in that crash too. I'm just finding out. The NFL didn't talk about that shit. Derrick Thomas fight to keep control. Oh no, that's a different. I'm sorry, that's different. Let me Google this shit so I can be accurate with history. Because I'm sure I'm gonna have one or two more conversations about this in my lifetime. Okay, let's read this together. 9-time Chief Pro Bowl Derrick Thomas was seriously injured yesterday in a single car accident. Okay, good. Thomas and another passenger, oh my God, who was pronounced dead at the scene, were thrown from the vehicle, according to the Kansas City Star. Damn. Damn. They don't even say the person's name in the article. Reports from this identified the man who was killed as Michael D. Tales, a friend of Thomas who once was a business partner in a limousine venture. Damn. A third man, John C. Hagabosh, 34, suffered minor injuries. I might want to reach out to John Hagabush. Maybe want to interview him. That'll be interesting. Yeah, they try. I'm reading it right now. They tried to charge him, but the man died. But I'm pretty sure he had insurance. They pretty much probably paid the family off, But yeah, man. Oh man, I didn't know all that. But why was he? Did Derrick Thomas fly airplanes or something? Y'all got to help me with this. I just remember that being a part of his story. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Man on a mission. Kansas City's Derrick Thomas has many obsessions, including the war that claimed his father, the pilot. I knew it, man. I knew it was something about planes. His dad was a fighter pilot. I knew it was something. I just remember that being a part of the story. You know what I mean? But I never, I was a kid when it happened. No, I wasn't. 99. 99, I was in college. That's why I was in college. I wasn't really like deep into this shit, as it pertains to now. But yeah, man, rest in peace to Derrick Thomas, man. He been gone 22 years, man. Wow. I saw him destroy Dave Craig. Let me Google that game. We need to watch that shit together, man. Y'all need to see how great this man was. Shout out to Derrick Thomas, man. I remember I watched that game. I remember that. I don't remember like it was yesterday, but I remember he hit him, made him fumble the ball. David Craig, and then David Craig ended up being the quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. It was versus Seattle, if I'm not mistaken, versus Dave Craig. Because Dave Craig, if I'm not mistaken, has the career. Dave Craig has the most career fumbles as a quarterback. Yeah, his dad died in Vietnam War. Thank you, dog. I appreciate it. Yeah, I remember that. I don't remember that now. I thank you guys for refreshing my memory. But y'all need to realize how great this man was, Derrick Thomas. We gonna watch this shit together because we need a refresher course. This man has 7 sacks. I watched this game. Had 7 sacks. He had a strip fumble and all that shit. Watch this shit. If I get a strike, it's okay. It's important. I watched this game as a kid. There it is, strip fumble. I told you. Remember that shit. There he is. Yeah, and so you know, the first wide receiver. Do y'all notice the first wide receiver to ever get 100 touchdowns was who? Do y'all know? I gave y'all a hint in that video. Do y'all remember who was the first wide receiver to get 100 touchdowns? I'll give you guys a second. Nope, not Sterling Sharp. No, that's way before Sterling Sharp. Not Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice broke his record. There you go, Wes Fry. There you go, Wes Fry. Steve Largent, man. Steve Largent was the first wide receiver to get 100 touchdowns. Damn sure was. Steve Largent. And you talk about an offensive machine that never won. Shit. I don't know how they didn't win. They had Dave Craig, Steve Largent, Kurt Warner, and John L. Williams. Who remember John L. Williams? Ready, down, set, hut, 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 hut. Oh man, and they had the what was that? Who was that? The guy that used steroids from Oklahoma. What's the guy's name? What's his name? What's his name, dog? Y'all know his name. Had the bandana, the Boz, Brian Bosworth. Yeah, the Boz, man. Boy, they built him up. They built him up to be something special, didn't they? Man, they built him up to be something special. Man, he was nothing more but a truck driver. Him and the other kid from Michigan State. What's the kid from Michigan State that went before Barry Sanders? Oh, man, he ended up using steroids. He ended up having a decent career with the Green Bay Packers. and Tony Mandridge. Yeah. Bo Jackson killed his career on Monday Night Football. Facts. Oh man, y'all take me back because I watched sports every damn day when I was a kid. So I'm hip. So this was my era, you know. So I have an understanding of who of the events that happened. What else? Do y'all remember? There were two other busts. There was one more bust. Do y'all remember one more bust? Played defensive lineman. See if okay. Here's a question. He played defensive lineman. What's up, N.Ty Tainer? What's up, man? Appreciate what you're doing in your community. You have he was the player of the year in college football, and he played for the Washington Huskies. Do y'all remember him? They had 2 draft picks and they both busted out. I couldn't believe they both busted out. Indianapolis had 2 draft picks in that same draft. I think number 2 and number 5. Let me go back and check. And I was a sports fanatic, man. I wonder how he's doing now. The man I'm thinking of. Let's see. Oh, 1 and 2. My bad. It was 1 and 2. Everybody busted out on that draft. Steve Entman. You know who else busted out in that draft, dog? I'm looking at the 1992 draft. Sean Gilbert, that fat son of a biscuit, man. That fat son of a biscuit, man. He ended up having a decent career with the Rams, right? Yeah, but he didn't come out. Desmond Howard couldn't run a route in the NFL. Terrell Buckley couldn't hold Deion Sanders. David Klinger was a system quarterback in Houston, if y'all remember that. Troy Vincent had a quality career. Bob Whitfield is a Hall of Famer. Tony Vardell. Damn, you never see fullbacks getting drafted this high. Ray Roberts had Leon Searcy, I think, is a Hall of Famer. Eugene Chung. I remember him, but I'm drawing a blank on him. Marco Coleman. I remember him. All right career. Chester McLaughlin, D tackle, had an all right career. Kevin Smith had an all right career. Dana Hall had an all right career with the 49ers. I remember him. Troy Smith, I don't remember him. Dale Carter. I remember Dale Carter, man. He was the player of the year in the SEC, dog. Y'all remember Dale Carter? Von Dunbar, I remember him. I think he didn't last too long. Chris Mims, I remember him out of Tennessee. Alonzo Spellman. Tommy Maddox. Hey, we should have went through this shit together, dog. We going down memory lane, dog, for all my 40-something-year-old heads out here. Sorry, y'all youngins, man. Y'all be saying this about y'all draft class. Chris Mims, Robert Jones, I don't remember. But y'all remember Tommy Maddox, who left early, and Robert Portia was a sack master. I remember him. I remember Robert Portia. He had a good career with the Lions. You know, I remember him. John Fina, I remember him. Average career. Ashley Ambrose, the cornerback. I remember him. Steve Israel, I remember him. Carl Pickens, the wide receiver. I remember him, dog. Marquez Pope, I don't remember. Mark De Lanfario, don't remember him. Rod Smith, don't remember him. Oh, this second round. Darren Woodson, Darren Woodson probably, yeah, man. Kurt Barber, I definitely remember him out of USC. But yeah, man, that's a draft class, man. Hey, man, Desmond Howard was a Super Bowl MVP doing the robot. Won the Heisman. He had a hell of a career, you know. And truth be told, if Devin Hester makes the Hall of Fame, Desmond Howard should make the Hall of Fame. He literally put a Super Bowl on his back. Had 3 touchdowns, dog. I'm not mistaken. 3 of them. Dale Carter was the player of the year in the SEC. I remember Dale Carter vividly. Very dominant. I remember What happened to these guys, man? Damn. Oh, he beats Tua. He got to make these throws, man. I don't know if he can make these throws. I want them to win because I want him to get. If he wins, if he gets to the conference finals, how much they got to pay this man? Dog, if he gets to the AFC championship game, how much they got to pay this man? $50 million a year? Sheesh. Sheesh. Damn. Yeah, the reason why we had the best sports when we were growing up is because that's all we had. We didn't have girlfriends, we didn't have bills, we didn't have kids, we didn't have jobs. All we had to do. We had Big East Monday. Y'all remember that? Big East Monday with Syracuse and Georgetown, and y'all remember that shit. So between that and Monday Night Football, I'm gonna tell you something. I had to. We call them aha moments now for the young kids. When I first came to LA, I was 8 years old. Late May of 1985. Right. I was so confused when football season came. I didn't understand it for the life of me. I swear before God, because in New York, you watch football when it's dark outside. Monday Night Football came on, and I was so confused, man. I couldn't understand that the sun was out while football was being played. I never understood it. It was like the weirdest thing for me. I'm sorry. It just was. And I'm like, what? I'm like, why is the sun out and they playing football on Monday? Because at 8 years old, you don't really comprehend the time change, you know? And it was like the weirdest shit. It was like the weirdest shit to me. 1985, dog. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, y'all remember the decathlon? Dave versus Dave. Was that 92 or 96? Dave versus Dave. Y'all remember the Nike commercials? Dave versus Dave and the decathlon. Oh, Birdman, you just gave me a memory, dog. Hey, let's Google those commercials, dog. Before we got the second hour, we can talk about what we need to talk about. Dave versus Dave. Dave versus Dave Olympics commercial. Oh, it was Reebok. It was 1992, dog. Dog, check out the quality. Damn. Look at the
100 meters in 10.3 seconds. Dave.
Oh, Dan versus Dave. I'm sorry.
3/4 inches. This summer they'll battle it out in Barcelona for the title of world's greatest athlete.
Y'all remember this shit?
Dan can throw it.
Kyle, you too young to remember this shit, man. But I gotta take us down memory lane, dog.
236 feet. This summer they'll battle it out in Barcelona for the title of
Do y'all remember this shit?
athlete.
Y'all remember that shit? Dog, I remember it like it was yesterday, dog.
Dave can long jump 24 feet, 10.5 inches.
Oh,
this summer they'll battle it out
man.
in Barcelona for the title of world's greatest athlete.
Oh, man, that was fun.
Dan won the decathlon at the World Track and Field Championships. Dave won the decathlon at the Goodwill Games. This summer they'll battle it out in Barcelona.
And the motherfucker didn't even make the Olympics, dog. The motherfucker didn't even make the Olympics. He didn't even make it. One of them didn't even make it. I remember it. They spent all that money and they didn't even make it. Yeah, man. Yeah. But that was the 92 Olympics. Do you remember the 92 Olympics, Kyle?
Hell no.
Dream Team.
I wasn't that, but
Dream Team, baby.
It wasn't the dream team. That wasn't the most. I mean, that was probably, yeah. The Michael Jordan billboard. Yeah, but what else happened in the 92 Olympics?
Shit, nigga, I was born in 88, so nigga, I was.
Oh, you were 4. Yeah, you ain't. Yeah, Max, you don't know nothing about it.
I just remember Dream Team. That's all I knew. Sports Illustrated for kids.
Okay, I need to show y'all what happened in 1992, which y'all need to show y'all kids, and hopefully you have a moment like this with your kids when you grow old. Damn, you ain't even got to finish the title. This shit's so popular. I want you guys to see this because this is one of the most powerful moments in TV history. It really is. It touched the world because it was on that stage too.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, one of the more
Yeah, where the
powerful
dad helped him
moments.
across the finish line.
Yeah.
YouTube TV has no hidden fees. And if you
Barcelona got
dominate
moments,
DVR
dog.
state-
That was Oscar holding the 2 flags. Y'all remember that shit? Oscar holding the 2 flags, the American flag and the Mexican flag. That was big, especially in LA. You know what I mean? I thought that was pretty cool in LA. Hey, let's watch this full screen. Because I know some people ain't never seen this. Pulled his fucking hamstring. Damn.
Fred, that was the last year Carl Lewis got some gold too, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And our relay team got the gold.
Oh, powerful moment. Dad just died this year. Yeah. Michael Johnson was 96 with the gold shoes. Yeah, man. That was him. That was Floyd and Michael Johnson. But that was Atlanta.
92. So 28 is going to be mania out here in LA.
Yeah. They building now. At least it's going to be a.
But all the purple line will be done. All the the new metro lines will be done by then too.
Yeah. Facts.
That people mover LAX too.
Facts. Yeah. Right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we working towards it right now, so we'll see how it turns out.
Hey, Fred.
What's up?
Let me Airbnb your guest house in the back right there, man. I seen that video. Look pretty plush for them Olympics, man.
Oh no, you can't do that.
It's not 420 friendly or what?
Definitely not that. But you're gonna have to pay. But you got to pay that $500 a night at every hotel in LA.
Oh, Fred, during the Olympics, that might go for like $1,500, $2,000 a night. I know. I'll keep it in my back pocket.
All right, well let me
Fred,
pick,
you don't
pick
even
a
like
tent out
people
in your
that
backyard.
much. Get the fuck out of here. Fred, line up with boy. He don't even like niggas like that no more.
Hey, you ain't got no.
He'll probably Fred will rent it out to the family of one of the athletes instead. Just get some tickets.
Oh, I'll definitely do that. I want to go to the track and field finals. Fuck that.
Hey, that's the last boxing, right? This the last boxing Olympics, right?
No,
Yeah.
boxing ain't in this one though.
Oh, it's
This next
not.
one.
It's done.
I don't think so.
Wow.
So that the track and field at SoFi is gonna be fire though.
Basketball, swimming, everything, weightlifting, fencing. I'm
I'm trying to
everything.
figure out, but why?
Oh,
why did
fencing
they
is
take
done
boxing?
too.
Why did they take boxing out though?
Well, I think fencing summer. I don't know if it's done. They put skateboarding in Olympics now.
Yeah.
Damn, they put skateboarding and took boxing out, huh?
That's crazy.
Fucking.
Hey, Tar Heels playing right now, Kyle.
Fuck you.
You're Tar Heels fan, right?
Fuck you. That shitty motherfucker under me is
you're
Tar Heel
Duke.
fan.
I'm sorry.
Hey, fuck you, Kyle.
I didn't know.
I watch
Hey, look,
sports somewhere.
Look how Oreos did your boy. Look how Oreos did your boy, Fred.
Yeah.
They gave you a U.
No, bro.
They used Herschel Walker. That had to be 92 or 96. That was the cold Olympics. I wasn't really big on the cold Olympics.
Yeah, Yeah, the Winter Olympics are pretty trash.
Yeah, they tried to force us. Hey, remember they did them commercials trying to force us to like that curling and shit.
The Winter Olympics is the White Olympics.
Yeah, I don't. Well,
Hey,
it is white because it's in snow.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah,
man, they really
the last Winter Olympics they tried to hype was with Christy Yamaguchi.
Oh yeah, Christy Yamaguchi. She won all them goals. Yeah.
Or that dude, Apollo Ono, the speed skater, is supposed to be.
Yeah, Apollo Ono. Yeah, I remember him. And then they had the white guy that did the flips and shit. The snowboarder, Sean what?
Oh, the redhead dude.
What year was it that Tanya Harding had her partners, her dude hit Kerrigan with the nice stick?
Just stupid. That was dumb. That was so stupid. Like they weren't gonna get caught
on the biggest stage in the world. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Facts. Big facts. Big facts. But we could jump into the topic at hand because we're all. I mean. We have some generational issues to keep on having this conversation. So, Shakur Stevenson, man, what's y'all take on Shakur Stevenson?
As far as what?
Shit, him almost dying. Shit.
Fred, he just needs to be a boxer. He could have the mob ties. He could have the mob ties like every other fighter in every era that's clicked up with someone in organized crime allegedly. But just stay in the gym, bro. Be with your child. You're not a tough guy, bro. You're not a mobster. You're a boxer. You know, with Sonny Liston out there with with them it was none of them dudes. It was Roberto Duran collecting numbers and doing all that. Like, nah, bro. Like, just
yeah. I think he needs to separate himself because I think shit. If it's not a public RICO. I think that it's going to be the government is on them. You know what I mean? It's no doubt.
Prince undefeated, though.
Shit, I don't want to take them chances at 50, 60 years old. He wasn't there. So, but if they don't like him, they can tie him as the ringleader, you know? And, but I don't know why this isn't this is a big story that I think no one's talking about or afraid to have the conversation because they're afraid Jay Prince gonna come get him or something. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, man. Like Jay Prince is not. I don't know. Maybe he used to be. I don't know. I don't know that version of him, but I do think I don't think his son is a great influence on Shakur Stevenson, and
not at all.
I think there needs to be some type of separation, and I got a lot of slack for that when I interviewed Bob, and people was like, "Why are you hating on Shakur?" Well, this is the outcome of it. He was 6 inches away from death, you know. So I think there needs to be some type of like, hey, I think you're better off separating yourself from and not being seen with them publicly. You know.
And you would think, Fred, Jay Prince Sr. would tell Shakur, like, no, this is not stay away from this, but also get on his son. Like, dude, that's one of my prime investments right there. What you doing? You should be keeping him away from that stuff if he wants to hang out with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then you look at Jay Prince and you see that he had him in that NBA YoungBoy dumb shit too. You know what I mean? That shit was dumb. That shit made no sense. Why you got that little young 19, 20-year-old kid sitting next to you and you talking about carjackings and stuff like that? And so,
I mean, I wish Shakur should take a page out of Andre Ward. That was his manager and all that, but Andre wasn't out there like that.
Yeah, Andre Ward was
that's an SOG, man. He don't do that shit.
Nah, he wouldn't even fight in casinos. Y'all know that?
Yeah, he didn't want to fight casinos. He didn't want to. Yeah, he's.
Is that what he did?
Yeah, that's why he was such a promotional hazard.
Yeah, he didn't want to travel. They offered him big money to go do the rematch in Wembley with Froch. They offered him big money to go beat Butte in Canada, and instead Froch took that fight, and that's why Froch got his career revived because Andre, I ain't got to travel.
Yeah.
He fucked up. So it was never about him being quiet and all the shit. It was because your ass didn't want to do nothing.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have
they
did that
offered,
shit either.
but nah, I mean, if they
Why
offered,
would
you're
I
a
win
world
the whole
champion.
tournament and then go rematch in the other dude's home country? He should come to me.
What's it called? It's
No,
called
I'm
a
talking about
world
the
champion.
casinos.
But you're a world champion, not an
I'm talking about
open
fighting in
champion.
casinos.
Okay, America a part of the world too.
You already fought in America.
Hey,
So it's a
slow
world
down,
champ.
Kyle.
Look what Bivol did. Look what Bivol. He fought in the UAE, fought in Vegas. Devin Haney went all the way to Australia. How many
Hey, big
times
dog.
did Mike Tyson fight in Japan?
I'm gonna need you to. He shouldn't have.
Yeah.
No, that's where the bag was. That's Don King. Don King took his fighters to get where it was.
No, I'm saying, but he shouldn't have. What happened with the Japan? Motherfucker got knocked the fuck out.
He was going to lose in Japan, or he was going to lose in Vegas. That was Buster Douglas's night.
It was Buster Douglas night for sure. It definitely was Buster Douglas night.
Not when you chilling with Bobby Brown and 20 fucking Japanese hookers, nigga.
The night before, right?
The night fucking before.
He was doing that over here. Did you see the story Fat Joe told him when they went over to Tyson's
Japanese
house?
hookers, man. These are different.
Y'all making excuses.
They relax your muscles and shit.
Hey, they be selling used underwear and vending machines over there, man. What you think the hookers is like? Just saying. Japan freaky.
Yeah, Mike Tyson. He wasn't really that good though. He was created.
Bro, I said that the other night, Fred. They asked who some of the most overrated boxers, and I threw Mike Tyson out there, and they stirred up a ruckus. But he lost all his big fights.
You know, and I think he's good. I think he's good, and I think Don King will go down in history as one of the greatest manufacturers of talent in history. He did the same thing with Chavez Jr. Chavez Jr. couldn't beat elite guys. You know, I mean, he was masterful. You know,
Don, for all the shit Don gets, he made big fights though, Fred.
Yeah, look what he did to Mayorga. How did Mayorga get into play? That motherfucker can't. He fight like a girl. He's smoking a cigarette and winging the right hand.
And then that's like he gave us him and Bob worked together. That remember when they did Trinidad De La Hoya? That was huge. They were both at like 25, 26.
Are you serious? They were that young?
I think they were under the 28.
Wow. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. Damn, that speaks volumes.
If Don King didn't get that bad rap of stealing from niggas all the damn time.
Bad rap, he did.
He did. Don King would be like, you got to work out at my gym, charging you $10 for a soda, $20 for a walk.
I don't know if that's true, but I did
allegedly.
I did hear Mike Tyson talk about a towel one time.
But then when Terrence Crawford wants to see the books and expenses, then all of a sudden it's a problem.
1999.
How old was Oscar and Tito?
In 1999, Oscar De La Hoya was born 1973, 83, 93, 26 years fucking old. Get the fuck out of here.
And damn near Terrence Crawford spends over 30, both of them.
Felix Trinidad, same age. Get the fuck out of here.
He sounded like Axel Foley right there, friend.
Don't you know they less than a month apart?
Yeah.
January 10th and February 4th.
That's just like that. That's how they used to be. How old? I think Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns were like 24, 25 when they fought.
No fucking way. That is insane. Wow. They fought that fight at 26 years old, y'all. Put that in perspective. Man, that's impressive. Now I'm about to run through their whole resume. That's impressive that they fought that fight that early in Madison Square Garden, right?
Yep. Yeah, MSG. I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that was a hell of a fight. I remember watching that fight in college. Yeah.
Yeah, my dad hated De La Hoya, so we the household was a very happy household that night.
He was winning easy too, man.
Yeah, I don't know what he did. He just stopped. Man,
He was winning
My
that fight like it wasn't even close.
my dad used to call him De La Hoya all the time.
Yeah, a lot of black people called him that. I remember hearing that.
He hated that motherfucker. That's why I probably hate that motherfucker to this day, because my daddy didn't like the nigga.
Yeah, that's
He used to call him the golden bitch.
no, that was in Vegas. It was at the Mandalay Bay.
that was in Vegas.
No, Bernard Hopkins and De La Hoya.
No,
Was that
that was MSG. Remember when Bernard threw the Puerto Rican flag?
That was Trinidad. Yeah, that was Trinidad at MSG. That was 9/11.
Yeah.
That was
9/11.
9/11.
Yeah,
that was 9/11. Yeah, it's coming back to me. Yeah. In Puerto Rico though, he didn't do that shit in America. He did that shit in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Craziness. God damn. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. De La Hoya. Every year, De La Hoya gave us a big fight, dog. I ain't gonna even lie. He had LA on fire, dog.
And De La Hoya didn't duck the guys. He fought everybody.
Yeah, he did. He understood it. He understood money. He understood it. Even in loss, he had like 6 or 7 losses. 5?
I think 5 or 6. Yeah.
All against Hall of Famers.
Yeah, De La Hoya was a bad son of a bitch.
Even though he did get a couple gift decisions, though.
He had 6 losses, man. He 39
man,
and 6.
man, fuck him. He lost it. Man, Pernell Wilson beat that nigga, man.
Yeah, Pernell beat him.
He got
Like
6.
Edge Brother said, I beat
Felix
that
Sturm
boy.
beat him.
Man, Pernell didn't do enough he didn't punch enough. He just made a miss.
Yeah, he didn't punch. I would agree he didn't punch it, but I thought he won.
Pernell beat Chavez Jr. I mean Chavez Sr. He beat him, yeah. But the De La Hoya fight, he didn't make him pay enough.
But check this shit out. He fought him like in 97, though, if I'm not mistaken. Because I was in college. I remember watching that. He fought him in 97. That makes him 24 years old. How the fuck he fight Pernell at 24 years old, dog?
That's like Canelo fighting Floyd.
Damn!
But
Yo, these promoters these days. But also, these
it's
promoters.
The fighters, Fred.
Wow. Damn.
But the shit was like the zone back in the day, though. If you think about it, everybody was under the same umbrella, damn near, for real.
Yeah, but that's one of Floyd's talking points. He says that De La Hoya was younger than Canelo was when he fought Chavez, but Chavez was younger than Floyd was too. So he's like, how are you gonna use the excuse that Canelo's too young? You were younger than that, and you beat Chavez.
That's impressive. That's impressive. I didn't know De La Hoya was that young. Like I never put that.
That's like, go look at the run when Leonard fought Hearns, Duran, all them. Leonard was only like 23, 24, like between 23 and 25.
But you know the difference is they didn't have network deals and guaranteed fight dates.
No.
So they had to put on fights to make money. Now they can just sit back and just get the network money.
And like you said, Fred, these fighters these fighters now are students of the game, because Sugar Ray Leonard, once he got his buzz, he was an independent contractor. He didn't sign with no promoter. He's like, I'm the A side. You guys need to work with me. So he wasn't locked into no deals or nothing.
He tried to help Marvin Hagler, but Marvin Hagler didn't get the damn message.
Marvin Hagler made more than him in their fight, though. Because Sugar Ray wanted hella money up front. So like, okay, Marvin, you want to take more on the back end? And Marvin ended up making more than Sugar Ray because the pay-per-view. Sugar Ray was hot.
But think about the percentage that he had to give up, though.
He still made more than it. Sugar Ray didn't get back end money that fight. He just got an upfront fee. Marvin Hagler's, all his money was on a small guarantee, but all his money was on the back end for that fight. And I think Sugar Ray made like 12. Marvin made like 25.
Really?
Yeah.
They never had the rematch neither. He said, Larry Merchant said, Larry Merchant's 90-something years old. I don't know if he's still doing interviews, but I remember Larry Merchant said in an interview, Marvin Hagler walked out the ring and he told Larry Merchant, "Why you let them do me like that?" Because he think he was set up, and he went to his grave thinking that. For Sugar Ray Leonard.
I still think Hagler won that shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he did a masterful job. You know, Sugar Ray Leonard knew what he was doing. Yeah, you're right. Hagler was guaranteed 12 million plus a percentage of the revenue. Hagler ended up making 20 million and Leonard 12. Marvin Hagler made 20. Get the fuck out of here.
Took
Marvin
that backhand,
Hagler.
Fred.
Get the fuck out of here. God, that fight generated 78 million and produced one of the biggest controversies ever. Wow. That was in New Orleans, right? Was that New Orleans, the super fight? Was that in New Orleans or was that in Vegas? I'm drawing a blank. Marvin Hagler. What was that? Let me Google it. Marvin Hagler.
Wasn't that at Caesars?
At Caesars? I'll find out. Damn. Marvin Hagler made $20 million? Get the flying fuck out of here.
In the 80s, man, that's like
Fuck. Hey, what's the inflation rate on that? Or the
that was Caesars. That was at Caesars.
Caesars? God. So that was Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard at in New Orleans. Y'all gotta help me out, man. My memory's drawing a blank. That was a super fight. It was called The Fight or the Super Fight or something like that. It had one simple name. But God damn. Okay. Marvin Hagler made $20 million, y'all. How old was he? It was this was called the super fight. Hagler's what year was this?
Hey, I thought Marvin Hagler only lost to Sugar Ray, but I'm wrong.
87.
That was 87? Let me Google Marvin Hagler, dog. Because this is like making boxing today look bad. And it's making me want to give Don King and Bob Arum more credit than shit. They entertained me when I was a kid. He was born 1954, so that was 87, 64, 74, 84. He was 33 and he made 20. Damn. Let's see. Hagler versus Leonard.
Go upstairs.
One judge had it 118, 110. Y'all inspired me to go back and I ain't seen that fight in 20 years. I got to go back and watch that. Dave Moretti, who scored it 115, 113 Leonard. Obviously, Hagler was the aggressor, but was not the effective aggressor. You can't chase and get hit, chase. Besides, the hardest punching was Leonard. Let's see if who scored it 118. Jojo Guerrera.
So that 23 million now for inflation is like at 58 million and some change for it.
Are you serious? For 23 million?
Yeah.
Howard Cosell had 117. Y'all got to see this shit, man. This is interesting, man, going down history. I guess we're going to go by Shakur. I guess we'll come back.
Hey, Fred.
Yeah.
That's why Earl asked about the back end.
Man, ain't no back end.
Ain't no back end there.
Man, ain't no back
That's when they used to promote, though. If you go back for that's why I love the old stuff. When Hearns and Hagler agreed to fight, they went on a 2-week, 23-city press tour.
Ain't no. Harold Letterman had it 115, 113 Leonard. Larry Merchant had it a draw. Can y'all see these? This is interesting, dog.
Yeah,
now I want to go back. Howard Cosell had Leonard by 5. 5 points. Let's see who's the Gil Clancy had 115, 113 Leonard. It's cool. You ain't heard these names in such a long time.
When did Bert Sugar have it at?
Al Bernstein had it 115, 113 Hagler. Harold Letterman had it 115, 113 Leonard. Larry Merchant had it a draw. Let's see. Let's check the other side. This is interesting. I like this shit. Now I'm on Wikipedia every fight now. Now I'm about to.
Damn, the Oakland Tribune nigga had it 17-12. God damn.
Yeah, Leonard. I don't know who's writing for them then. LA Times. Damn, I wish I knew. So that's Jim Murray. Jim Murray had it 117, 111 then, because Jim Murray was our lead writer. Then let's see. Mercury, Hugh, William Neck, Pat Pullman. This is interesting. I like this. Washington Post had it 114, 114. Isn't that where he's from? Washington.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then what's crazy, Hagler moves to Italy and becomes a movie star.
Yeah. Yeah. God, this is impressive, man. He made $20 million and he was a Bob Arum fighter. Damn.
That was his last fight. He said, fuck y'all niggas.
Yeah, he got right. He felt he got robbed. He because he won the first 10 rounds. If I remember my memory serving correctly, he was like stalking them for like 10 rounds, and then the last 15 seconds,
That's all Leonard was doing, little flurries the last 20, 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not engaging the 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes of a round.
Jerry,
that's the same shit Brian Castano be doing though. That's the same shit he be doing.
Yeah, he did. He did try to do that, but hey, that motherfucker got
same shit Pacquiao used to do. It's a strategy. De La Hoya, same shit.
Yeah, feel free to call in. Yeah, yeah, you're right. But that 20 million is astonishing. And the fight made 78 million. So they made 32 million, 64. So that's about 30% of the purse. 30% of the profits went to the fighters. Damn. Bob Arum got away like a fat cat. Him and his friends at the networks. Wow. Buster Douglas made 24 against Evander and sat there in the third round like a whale.
And Leonard and Hagler, that's a year after Tyson became champ, 86. So they was able to do that even with Tyson coming on the scene.
Damn.
Imagine if Buster Douglas would have took that shit serious the next fight.
Well, no, he got what he was coming for. He was a journeyman, kind of. He was talented, fought on his toes, but he didn't have the discipline. He did
an Andy Ruiz.
Yeah, facts. Andy Ruiz and Buster Douglas. And you know who put up the money for that Buster Douglas? And he said, "I'm never doing boxing again." Steve Wynn. Steve Wynn put up the money for Evander Holyfield and Buster Douglas, and he was like, "I'm never getting in boxing again. I felt robbed." Let's pull that, and because we got a lot of young people in here. Yeah, man. If I'm not mistaken, maybe Steve Wynn has an interview. Steve Wynn. You know he's blind, right? Steve Wynn.
So how he know how to fight look?
He's worth he can see a little bit, but he's legally blind. Steve Wynn's worth $3.2 billion.
Yeah. I just saw it. It's on the Washington Post. He called it a gutless performance.
Yeah, I want to pull it up for the people, man.
That mega right now, almost 2 million, man. Get them tickets.
When will promote the Douglas fight? It's hard to stomach. Yeah, here it is right here. I'm gonna read it to you guys. Just so because I
look who the writer is too.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, gotta look at it.
Mike Wilbur.
Mike Wilbur. I was about to say Dan Raphael. Okay, this is 1990, y'all. Here, let's watch this together. Let's read this together. Over and over, the men who were in charge of training Buster Douglas were asked why their man didn't give a decent account of himself when he took 24 million and walked into a heavyweight championship bout overweight and underprepared. It was early morning. The hardcore gamblers and the party people in Evander Holyfield's camp were still wearing their same clothes when the morning after analysis began anew. Inquiring minds, not to mention The people who paid to watch the fight on TV wanted answers. It grew ugly, nearly confrontational just after the first cup of coffee. Steve Wynn, owner of the Mirage, and the man who put up nearly $40 million for Douglas versus Holyfield, was angry about paying $24 million to Douglas, who didn't even bother to get himself into fight shape and wound up a knockout victim in the third round. What that kid did tonight, Wynn said, was, well, I'm going to say a disgrace. It was wrong. Later in the morning, Wynn followed with a thinly veiled statement that further impugned Douglas' integrity. We compliment Evander Holyfield for coming into the ring well prepared. However, our attitude is that fight purses should be more along the lines of winner take all, so that the only incentive is for victory. Douglas did not show for the morning. Oh, they had morning news conferences. That they need to start doing. They need to bring that shit back. But his co-trainers, John Russell and J.D. McCarley, did. Both wound up shouting at reporters who asked why Douglas looked so pitiful with at least one more 20. He has one more? Wow.
Did he have a rematch clause?
Rematch clause. Okay. With at least one more $25 million payday at stake. When a British reporter asked if they were embarrassed about having a flabby fighter, Russell shouted, "That's a stupid question." McCauley was slightly more civil. "Are you trying to make us feel any worse than we feel?" he asked. "How do I explain? He had a bad night. The flabbiness, or whatever you call it, it might have shown up in the late rounds, not in the third. Holyfield's people, they read something off of us like we did off of Tyson. He got hit." Later on, though, McCauley began to wear down. He recalled Douglas being so out of shape that at the start of camp, he and Russell did not even put Douglas on a scale. "We knew he was big and out of shape," McCauley said. "What purpose would it have served to put him on a scale?" Thursday morning, several hours before the fight, McCauley, Douglas' uncle, knocked on his nephew's door. He asked Buster how he felt, if he hullabaloo at the weigh-in. What's that say? Hullabaloo at the weigh-in bothered him. What's that word? I gotta Google that shit. I don't want to read the article and not know what the fuck that means. Y'all know what that means? Hullabaloo?
Hullabaloo, I think that's just like a big ruckus, like a.
Oh yeah, commotion and fuss. Thank you, dog. Yeah. I appreciate it. Thank you. Bothered him. Buster told me he felt fine and that he was ready to have a good fight, McCauley said. "I took him at his word. Look, nobody knows what's inside a man. What the heart has left. What's ticking, not even me, as well as I know him." But why was Douglas wiping blood off his nose instead of trying to get up? Did he want to get up? What about referee Mills Lane, who said it looked at him that Douglas could have gotten up? Wow. The referee didn't take the shot, McCauley snapped. Nobody with a pencil or paper took that Everlast glove in the face. How do you know what's in the kid's heart? And so on. So is it? No, it's a long article. I don't want to bore y'all, but yeah, man. That got Steve Wynn out of boxing. Imagine that, Steve Wynn out of boxing.
We put up $40 million.
Who did Buster Douglas fight after that?
But the thing is, though, Fred, I could see why it pissed him off. He still made his money because that was a huge fight. It was just no one was expecting it to only go to get his ass kicked like that.
Yeah, he got his ass destroyed.
Fights after that, though, Fred.
Who?
He won fights after that with his weak ass.
No, he didn't. Never really got back. Nah, he never really got back.
No, he didn't get back to the top, but shit, he won some fights after that, though.
But the fact, why would you fight? Why would you fight? Why would you fight for 100,000? All you gotta do is get up. You fight for another 25. Here it is, right here.
Tripping.
He fought for $100,000 the rest of his career.
Look. That's fucking.
He did not. He took 6 years off after that Holyfield loss.
Damn sure did. Yeah. He got fat and got diabetes. He came back fat. I look at him now. You know what I mean? He looks like He looks like a depressed man.
Looks like a buster.
Yeah, facts. Because I saw him at the Wilder fight. He didn't look like, he didn't.
Oh, he beat Oliver McCall.
Well, I mean, Oliver McCall was half crazy, man. Oliver McCall. Did you see Oliver McCall at the rematch? Kyle, you ever seen that?
Oh, when he started crying? Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Because I got.
But he,
matter of fact, go ahead.
I got a signed glove from him over there.
That was at the Hilton, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all taking me back down memory lane. I think that was at the Hilton.
Hey, and he wasn't out of the fight though, Fred.
I don't know. I don't remember. All I remember is this nigga. Man, I ain't gonna even lie. It's still weird to me when I watch it.
Poo-hooing, dog.
But the young fellas, the 19-year-olds in this ain't seen it. Man, I gotta find a short version of it.
Yeah, that nigga was crying like a motherfucker, boy.
Huh. Man, he knocked Lennox. Yeah, he beat Lennox Lewis though.
He beat Lennox Lewis's ass.
He beat Joe. What is Joe Lewis?
Yeah. Joe Lewis. All
right, it's the highlights right here. Let's watch this. Oh, my bad.
That'll keep you in the fight because no matter what happens, you'll always know. I already know I can knock him out. It's already a proven deal.
Lewis, to this day, still the only loss in the career of the Big Brit.
That'll keep you in the fight because no matter what happens, you'll always know. I already know I can knock him out. It's already a proven deal.
All right, let's fast forward this shit. Y'all got to see this shit.
Throwing power shots.
This nigga just turned around and started crying, dog. It was the weirdest.
Possibly in a sport that is full of oddities, the strangest thing I have ever seen. He says yes, but he is not throwing punches against Lennox Lewis. The heavyweight title's on the line here. What is he doing?
I'm surprised Lennox hasn't blasted away at him with about 6 or 7.
Watch this shit, young fellas.
Lennox is almost like trying to figure him out. There's nothing to figure out. Let your hands go.
I can only imagine what a Roberto Duran, a Marvin Hagler, or a Mike Tyson would be doing to an opponent who is standing opposite them the way McCall is standing opposite Lennox Lewis.
This fight would be over.
The disposition of Lennox Lewis as a masterful chessman is the only thing keeping McCall in this fight.
You know what? He could let a bunch of punches go, let a flurry go, and the referee would have to stop.
Watch this shit, 19-year-olds. Watch this shit, guys.
I agree with you because he's not defending himself.
He'd have to stop.
You would have to stop it if you threw punches at him. And now McCall's raising his. This is possibly, in a sport that is full of oddities, the strangest thing I have ever seen.
Jose should stop it for a second and ask him. Maybe bring his doctor up. What's wrong? You know, is your foot broken? Is your
what the fuck? No.
His head,
his psyche is broken. That's what's broken. He just went through.
Yeah, the Hilton Hotel. How did I remember that shit? It was at the Hilton. Yeah, I remember this shit.
He looks almost like a little kid being punished.
And once again, he's not returning to his own corner. Could you imagine being Georgie Benton, his trainer, in complete disbelief? A new twist to the plot. Oliver McCall is now crying. Let's listen in.
Don't do it to yourself. Hey, listen to me. Listen to me. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself, man. Come on. Thanks a lot.
You smoke crack, don't you?
Go lay down.
Damn,
if you
poor
go lay down, go lay down in the
poor Georgie
go
Benton.
lay down in the living room.
Poor Georgie Benton, man.
Go lay down.
They should have stopped this fight in the corner. It doesn't take a genius to see something obviously wrong with him, and he's vulnerable, very vulnerable. to getting hit with big shots. Lennox is a huge man with a big power. If he lands a good shot on this guy right here, this could be something very tragic.
Listen, I get where Mills Lane, the referee, is coming from. People have come.
Got a commission,
they
yeah.
money to see a heavyweight title fight. He wants to keep the fight alive. But
I remember watching this.
physically fit and mentally fit to engage in this sport.
I remember watching this shit, man.
That right now, Oliver McCall is not mentally fit to engage in a heavyweight championship fight.
These people didn't pay to see an execution. You know, something's not right.
That's it. That is it.
Hurt bad.
He is being booed out of the ring. He is looking for a way back to the locker room. And what a change. It was only a half an hour ago that Oliver McCall ran from the locker room into the ring.
Oh, yeah, y'all got to see his ring entrance. Oh, yeah, y'all got to see his ring entrance, dog. It is fucking hilarious. I'm going to look for an interview, man, because we need answers. We need answers, man. Y'all got to see his ring in. That shit was fucking hilarious. Hey, go ahead, Jerry. What's up, man?
I remember watching that fight that night and feeling really, really bad for Oliver McCall. If you remember correctly, Don King pulled him out of a drug rehab and basically forced him into that fight. And he wasn't right mentally. I mean, you're looking at a big, tough guy right there crying like a baby, man. You can imagine the emotional state that he was in. Now, end of the day, you know, he's got to be accountable for that because he took the fight. But it just goes to show the human side of fighters that sometimes we don't stay attached to because the bright lights come up. We watch the fights. But like I say,
between Lennox Lewis and Oliver McCall, both 30.
Yeah.
He was not fit to be in that fight. And what you've seen there is him having a nervous breakdown in the fight. And credit Lennox Lewis that he was cautious because McCall was a big, strong guy, man. And Lennox, had already been knocked out once. I mean, if the commentators are like, Lennox's disposition, well, he was smart to show patience because he could have been setting a trap for him. And then what happens if he mollywops Lennox while he's walking away and hits him with a blind shot, and Lennox is on the floor, counted out, KO'd. So, I think that was a smart move. Now, at the very end, you see Lennox turned it up on him, but he would have been foolish in a sense. Now, hindsight, you can look back and say, okay, yeah, but, had he walked into a big mollywop shot from a McCall, walking away and hit him with a blind shot, then everybody would have, criticized Lennox Lewis. So that was a learning moment for Lewis and a really tragic moment for Oliver McCall, who was always a tough guy, who was a dangerous opponent for anybody. He'd take losses because he wasn't the most focused fighter or the most dedicated fighter, but on any given night, he probably was capable of beating anybody.
Oh yeah, he was off the shits. He was off the shits. He started coming down in the fourth round.
Yeah. He had a bad trip. Hey, see if you can find the interview on why he.
I know. I got it. We watching that shit. I got it. I found it.
He came in all yacked out and started coming down the force and fuck this shit.
He look like he's in Baltimore. He just look like a Baltimore guy. Is he from Baltimore?
No, I think he's from Georgia. He's from down south.
He lives in Texas, but he was from Chicago.
He lives in Texas now?
Yeah, he said reside in Texas, but he grew up in Chicago.
I'm gonna get his phone number. I would love to interview him now, see how he's doing. Yeah, someone interviewed him. Oh, he did an interview a year ago with Scoop. Yeah, he's active.
I think he fought not all that long ago. What I heard a rumor, maybe, I don't know, a couple years ago, he had a fight somewhere on a local card, maybe in Texas. But he used to spar with Mike Tyson. He used to get Tyson fits.
Yeah, he sparred Mike
Tyson. He was a tough fucking guy, man. I mean, you see a tough guy crying like that and having a nervous breakdown. I mean, me personally, I got a feel for him. I felt bad for him because I'd seen him. I knew who he was, and Lennox. Lennox was a great fighter, but Lennox was a vulnerable, like any heavyweight, I guess. I mean, if you catch him, you could knock him out just like Rockman did. But so I thought McCall's chances in that fight were going to be pretty good because he was such a strong fighter. But wow, that was some bizarre behavior.
Sorry, Jerry, I cut you off.
So second Lewis fight, Manny's with Lennox Lewis. Did that throw you off your game a bit?
Of course, it threw me not as much. That didn't throw me off my game because I was so wanting to get to Lennox Lewis as far as showing Manny Stewart, saying, Manny, yeah, I wanted you in my corner. Yeah, the thing that happened with me and Don King were in my corner. I didn't talk to Manny from the time I left out the ring of the first fight to the second fight. I didn't talk to Manny Stewart. Don King was so much manipulating that. But the thing about that is that in preparation for the second fight, I went through so much craziness in where was I at? I was in Tennessee. They kicked me out of the gym one time. I'll never forget. I'm training for a world title. You know, they kicked me out of the gym. They kicked me out of the gym. A police officer that was running the gym. I'll never forget this, man. They kicked me out of the gym because I told them that I couldn't focus because they had women from the strip club coming to the gym training, looking like women in the strip club. And it just distracted me, you know what I'm saying? And when I told the owner of the gym, I said, man, I can train in here while these women looking like this all in this gym. Training, I'm trying to train for a fight. And he go hit you over the butt cheeks out and everything showing. And know what he done? He kicked me out of the gym. And I actually went several days without training. And so I got another gym to train at. And then there was some other stipulations that there's no need to bring it up now, but there was some other stipulations that took place because of my behavior outside the ring that really hindered me from being the best I could be. And put it all together, it caused me to break down and just say, oh, I'm here, I'm into the fight. I just want to get out of the ring.
What was going through your head?
Wow. His mama was there, and my mama couldn't come to the fight. My mama couldn't come to the fight. And that kind of really threw me off. And you know something now, as I look back, concerning my mom, you know, God used my mama to get me off crack cocaine. I didn't know that until my mom got to the point where my family, my other brothers and sisters, wasn't there to take care of my mom at a point in her life. And I knew I couldn't take care of my mom smoking crack cocaine. It was 2012. And I fought in Poland. And after I won the money in the fight in Poland, I went and got my mama. And and me and my mother moved up to Racine, Wisconsin. I took care of my mama for a little over a year before she passed. In October 30th of 2013. And I think the last time I had smoked crack was sometime in that summer of 2012. So I've been cleaning off crack 105 years. And I remember when I thought I would never reach a year off that crack cocaine. So God has really used my mama in a way where I see why that made me mad with my mama with the second Lennox Lewis fight.
His last fight was in 2018. Damn.
Well, that looked like crack.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Definitely the wear and tear on him. Hey, you got mad at me because I said he looked like he from Baltimore. He do look like he from Baltimore, man. I just brought you in, Mr. Dr. Fuller. Yeah, he like a Baltimore nigga. Don't he like a Baltimore nigga? Man, he either from Brooklyn or Baltimore. Them grimy ass motherfuckers. Like,
hey, man, right. Even his boxing rec pick looked like he on some shit. Bro, the picture they chose for him on his box rec looked crazy.
Oh man.
Hey, what's crazy was though, he was a pretty good fighter until he got to that crack. He got a hold of that crack. It was a wrap.
He said he didn't stop till 2012.
Knock Lennox Lewis out.
On crack.
On crack.
You smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you?
I'll tell you right now, crackheads are some of the hardest dudes to put away, man.
Lennox Lewis after he can knock them out and tell me where he looks like he's from.
Oh, Lennox Lewis?
Yeah.
He's from somebody's cul-de-sac. He looks, he clean, he ain't. Was he 88? 88 Olympics? Yeah.
He looked like he was from under a bridge in California
84.
when Oliver McCall knocked him out.
He was confused. Like, hey, I don't think y'all see. Have you seen that knockout, Kyle?
It's been a minute.
Oliver McCall. We gotta bring history full circle, man. Hey, I gotta bring this full circle, dog. Hey, yeah. We gotta see it, dog. We gotta see it. I ain't gonna lie, when the Rockman knocked him out in Africa, right?
Yeah.
Was that Africa? Yeah, man. That shit was that shit came out of nowhere. He was getting his ass beat. Wow. Yeah, man. What was it? Oliver McCall?
There should have been a third fight because they each knocked each other out as impressively as each other did. Rockman knocked him out, and then Lewis came back and knocked him out. Why there was not a third fight, I do not know.
Oh, you know. We saw it. We saw the second knockout. He beat the dog shit out of Rockman.
Look at them, blissfully unaware.
Hey, I appreciate y'all taking this show down memory lane, dog.
Is vulnerable
I
to
appreciate
threats,
it. Thank you. Nah, here it is right
here. Off the shit.
By the count of 6, and certainly inside. I go to the left. But let's take a look at the punch that put Lewis.
Drop the old man.
Coming by way of knockout.
And Lennox Lewis was a better version for the young kids. He was a better version of Anthony Joshua. But the only difference is he came to America, so now he had American fans because he was training at Crunk's gym with Emmanuel Stewart, so you guys know.
The Commonwealth and Europe. He is the WBC heavyweight champion of the world.
He was 88 Olympics. Yeah.
Involved with everything else. And Larry, he was so wound up, and I noticed that Lennox Lewis didn't seem to even break a sweat in the dressing room. So I think the first round very important.
So what? Oh, I'll show you guys after the fight. So what happened? Let me pause it so people can know the story. So what happened was Oliver McCall had Emmanuel Stewart as his trainer. And then in a rematch, Emmanuel Stewart is Lennox Lewis' trainer. Yeah. All right. Let me.
That's fucked up. I wonder why that was.
Emmanuel Stewart, as far as the brawl is concerned,
it's called.
A variety of different styles during the fight tonight, trying to confuse Lewis. Lewis tried to right hand the fight. Not a lot of the ball seems to be waiting for the big man to try to
Beautiful shot. Beautiful counter. Woo! Forgot how good Oliver McCall was. Damn. Look at the counter shot.
His own fight plan. But perhaps that's also the fight plan of Stewart.
Boom! Look at the counter right.
Short left hand inside.
Is it that?
7, 8, 9. What is this? The WBC's referee has stopped this fight after a count to 9 with Lewis standing in front of him. And we're going to have a riot here. Jose Guadalupe Garcia stopped the fight.
That was the right stoppage. Saved his career.
Absolutely nuts. The crowd at ringside momentarily stunned. And that's got to be one of the strangest stoppages I ever saw.
I was happy as shit for Oliver McCall when that happened, man. I never cared for me.
Yeah, I remember watching this shit on HBO.
I can't believe
everyone was.
Yeah.
WBC.
I wonder how much crack he bought that night.
Well, crack, don't you? Nah, this when the addiction really came in.
After he got this shit.
I think that very likely McCall might have finished Lennox Lewis.
And now he had already
heavyweight champion earned the right.
he was already on that shit by then.
That was how it was going to happen.
Yeah, but he got that good shit after this.
Let's say I want to see this knockout again.
But let's take a look at the punch that put Lewis down.
Fucking up Don King's money.
They're just moving around, sparring. Again, I had mentioned
It was a right hand. Yeah, I'm right. We're talking about the left hand. That counter right was beautiful.
Another look. See, Lewis was fighting
Damn.
with that leg so far apart that he had to reach in with the right hand and he got beat to the punch.
Well, his instructors have always said he has bad balance.
Damn, that was beautiful.
Shotgun right hand.
Man, that was beautiful, man.
Go lay down.
What's up, Dr. Fuller? What's up, man?
Hey.
How's everything going, man? You all right?
Great. Yeah, we great.
Good.
Dr. Fuller, what's going on, man?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Cracking
I wanted to Oliver McCall is a great boxer. I saw your show last night, Fred.
Uh-huh.
Man, you guys got into it, didn't you? You got deep.
What was it about yesterday?
Good comments. Huh?
Hey, Jerry, what was the show about last night? Help me.
Race.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw it in the afternoon. I didn't see it real time.
I remember. Yeah.
I was traveling. I was traveling yesterday, so I didn't see it real time.
Glad you got.
I saw it. I saw it once I got to where I was at about 2:00 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of teenagers are out there that weren't born on the time that the crack epidemic hit the inner cities. A lot of people made the mistake of relying on that to deal with poverty, disadvantage, conditions that existed then and exist even more now in inner cities. But best believe you young 19, 20-year-olds, the young fellas and ladies that may be listening, that is a culture that was introduced into our communities from external forces, and we bit the apple, and it destroyed a whole generation and a half. But by no means is that indicative of who we are as a people. We are not a bunch of crack smoking NIGGAs that a lot of folks like to refer to us as. There's a lot of us who are doing positive things to make the world a better place, and even more of us who are just working hard, that love each other, that love God, and just trying to make ends meet, working hard every day, just hardworking folks. And even those people are suffering, and those are the folks that we honor, and we want to try to create a better world for, having empathy for their situation, understanding that as Black people in America and all over the world, we're not treated correctly many of the times. So this is not who we are. We need to be better. And that's how I would tie this in. Oliver McCall, I mean, he's one of many people who fell to that drug. That drug destroyed a whole generation and a half. But I was fortunate enough to be alive before it hit our communities and destroyed our communities. And I know that we weren't the devastation that it brought is something that was introduced into our communities. It was not there before that drug came and infiltrated our communities. So,
before crack, it was heroin. I got 3 cousins and an uncle dead in the grave from crack cocaine. You ever seen a white crackhead? Plenty of them.
So, at any rate,
we got more crackheads than you. We got more crackheads, but you do got more.
We don't care about white
There's
crackheads.
definitely more white crackheads than black crackheads. That is a fact.
So,
man, neither does heroin.
so, yeah, real deep subject. Real deep subject yesterday. And I gotta ask. There was something that was said yesterday that kind of interests me. When everyone was talking, and I want to ask you a question, Fred. Can you answer it?
You can ask. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right. So you mentioned that you took your family out for dinner,
right?
And there was someone who drove up and almost endangered your family because of the speed that they were going.
Right.
Or I guess you said you went into a parking spot really fast.
Yeah, she definitely.
Yeah, and you said you wanted to spit in a woman's face.
Uh-huh.
Could I ask you what ethnicity this woman was?
Yeah, she was white.
Okay.
I wouldn't care if she was black. I wouldn't care if it was I'm gonna tell you right now, I wouldn't care if it was a black man. The only thing that made me realize what I immediately snapped into, like, it's not worth it. We're about to go to dinner. We're about to have my families here, you know what I mean? And
so you said you felt like spitting in her face.
Oh, for sure. Because
did you address the situation at least or no?
I did. And that's how I know. And that's how I know she said that I was parking. This was my parking space. She had a sense of entitlement on within her. And
within her skin color.
I say it again, please.
Anyways.
Oh, it's because yeah. You definitely about to excite these two. But I didn't want to go there. If I was if Lincoln and Kennedy wasn't with me, I would have engaged.
Okay, so
I'll be honest. I probably would have engaged more, but Lincoln and Kennedy was there, and I can't endanger my family for a meaningless argument. You get what I'm saying? So now the onus is on me as the leader of the family to say, you know what? Okay, it's cool. We're about to go in this restaurant. Well, I had to go anyway. I had to go into the parking structure anyway and park. But my mind was like, spit on her, and I was like, nah, don't do it. I wanted to. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, a lot of times, man, when people come on and like, even I heard someone say something about this knockout. They were like, I guess what kind of crack was he on? It's become a stereotypical thing to relate that drug use or that sort of drug use to our people. And
but he was on crack though. He said it. He said he was on crack.
Okay,
yeah, he was on crack.
But I'm saying that, that's one of the stereotypes that our people have, that we're a bunch of drug addicts. Like, for instance, I mentioned that how I introduced, and then I think it was Jerry that said, okay, we were heroin addicts before that. And so,
no, he was just saying that was a drug of choice before crack. It was heroin.
Well,
that was like
but he he made the inference that we were doing heroin before that.
No, he did it, bro. Chill the fuck out, Mike. God damn, man.
Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying that drug, the crack epidemic that happened in the inner cities was something like we've never seen before. And there, obviously there was some heroin addiction before then. But the way that crack affected the communities, it pretty much destroyed an entire generation of people in the inner cities, and at least a generation and a half. So and the bad part about it was the way that society responded to that illness, that sickness. It was responded to with a very criminal element. Whereas you see what's going on with the opioid addiction, which hits the suburbs. Now that is treated for illness. That's, if you get if you're dealing with opioid addiction, then you get treatment. You don't get incarceration. You don't get things like that with opioid addictions. And obviously that's not a drug that the inner city struggles with, that Black people are struggling with in general, because we learned our lesson from being destroyed by the influx of crack cocaine. So the bottom line is that each time we talk about these things, we talk about not using stereotypes and that kind of stuff, and just being equitable with folks. It's not
It's
about
not a
just
stereotype
saying,
if you're actually smoking crack.
it's not just about saying that you want to make things better. It's about really just saying you want to make things better for everybody. You want to make the world a better place, because whenever someone, any group of people are marginalized or put into a stereotypical view and looked at as all you are just this way, then that's wrong. Everyone's different. And then, at the same time, it's not right to pigeonhole people just based on their ethnicity. So that's what it's about. It's about making the world a better place. It's not just about, standing up for that. So let me ask Jerry one question and I'm gonna stop. Are you there, Jerry?
Yeah.
Okay. I was listening to you last night, and
oh boy.
And I guess my question would be to you: is there anything that you feel like you're not comfortable talking about when it comes to Black people? Because I feel like you feel like you're 100% qualified to chime in and to address anything that's going on with our people. Is there anything that you feel like you're not 100% qualified to speak on behalf of, or in terms of when it comes to Black people?
Well, that's a good question, and I'll answer it like this. Night after night, I hear brothers on this show and other shows talking about everything about white people. The white man this, the white man that. Not a topic that goes undiscussed. In fact, people tell me, oh, you're not Black, you don't know what it's like, and the same can be said in reverse. You're not white, so you can't really speak on it either, but it never stops anybody. In fact, it's literally off the chain how Black folk will speak about the white man and every single move we make and what our intentions are, whether they're accurate or not. Of course I feel free to chime in the other way. The second thing I would tell you is what I've said on the show before. Obviously, I'm a white guy. I'm never going to know entirely what it is to be Black. Of course, I couldn't. However, you'd be surprised, man. I grew up in the ghetto. I grew up with Black folks. I got several personal Black friends that I've known since I was a kid. I grew up in a single parent household. My mother was on welfare. I'm a redhead. I've been a ginger my whole life, and I know what it's like to be discriminated on for things that you can't, you don't have any control over. So there probably are some things, and there's been times where I refrain from commenting. But in the big scheme, no. Not as long as
Okay.
everyone else feels free to talk about white people. I got an opinion, and it's my opinion. I'm not stating it as a matter of fact, but just stating it as an opinion.
Okay. So that answers the question. And that, for me, that reveals an extreme amount of audacity, and extreme amount of audacity. And for you to think that you could even come close to really understanding what we're talking about when we talk about the conditions that we deal with, whether you want to face it or not, the bottom line is you have equity just based on your ethnicity. Right or wrong, that's the facts.
Sure.
You walk in with equity. You understand?
Sure.
You walk in, no matter where you
in
go.
your mind, I'm sure I do, but
wherever you go, you walk in with equity.
Okay.
I'm actually on travel. Okay, let me. I'm going to bring this full circle. And first of all, when we talk about, I heard when you said, Black folks, and then you turn around and say, white men. Well, why do we have to be folks, but you get to be the man? Why can't we be men too?
You just want to try to make trouble.
Okay, so anyway, Jerry, what I'm doing is I'm letting you know that I'm
laughable.
No, I'm just letting you know that I'm listening to your speech. I'm listening to your speech. This is what I'm going to say, Jerry. Let me say this. Hold on. You gonna let me finish? I'll let you talk. Let me finish. So what I'm saying, Jerry, is that you may not understand this, but okay. The whole reason I'm on travel right now, Jerry, is because I work for a company for 11 and a half years. This is after doing 20 years in the military. You know, I walk out, you know, you look at my chest, I look like General Patton. All the ribbons. You know, I look like General Patton, right? I work for a private nuclear power plant. I would say its name, but I'm refrain from that from now because I'm in some litigation with them. But went there and, you know, you guys heard about all my education and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, we got that.
Okay, you heard about that. And the reason why I referenced that is because I was watching Caucasians with high school diplomas being promoted over me. Did you hear what I just said?
Maybe people just don't like your attitude.
High school diplomas, right? And so the bottom line is that, you know, what we're talking about, Jerry, you can't really understand that. No matter what you say you've experienced, when you walk into, hey, can you mute that clown?
You're a piece of shit, Mike.
Fred.
Shut up.
Mute this clown.
Shut up. You are a piece of shit. You are fake.
Hey, Max, let him get off. Max, let him get off. Max, let him get off. Max, let him finish, then you can respond. I have no problem with you responding. No responding. Go ahead.
So what I'm saying, Jerry, is that you come into the environment with a certain amount of equity, whether you understand that or not. I mean, you know, and believe it or not, you're not qualified to talk on 100% of the topics and the concerns that come about with Black people, because you could never understand what we go through, ever, unless you actually get changed positions in society. You would never understand it.
Well, I mean, all I can say is what I told you before. You can't understand what it means to be white. You're convinced that I walk out the door with equity. I know better, but I'm never going to be able to make you understand that because that's what you believe, and you speak on it as a matter of fact. So when I speak on Black matters, it's no different than you speaking on white matters. You're not white, so you don't understand. You have theologies and thoughts that you convicted to, but just because those are your beliefs doesn't mean that they're true. They're just what you believe, you see, but it doesn't stop you from commenting. So why should it stop you
on what?
from commenting? And then add to the fact, with all your education, it seems to me that just from a strategic standpoint, you would want to know what a white man is thinking, you see, one with an unbiased view. You would want to know just from a strategic opinion. But sometimes we're too smart for our own good, you see, and I think that's the case with you sometimes. And what you're convicted to and believe, I'm not going to try to convince you otherwise because that would be fruitless. But like I say, there are some things I'll refrain from, like they talking about the rapper and what went on there. I don't know about rappers. The only thing I could speak on about that was it was tragic. And that it was kind of heartless that the guy stepped over him, was supposed to be his buddy. I'd say that if it was two country music stars. But, you know, if it's something like that, I'm not going to comment too much. But if it's social issues, yeah, I got an opinion.
Yeah, so what I'd say is that, you know, everyone that heard what he just said, that's let that sizzle. Let that marinate for a minute.
All right, guys.
Let that marinate.
Yeah, we got people waiting. We got people 760. Then we'll come back to Max. He's been 760's been waiting a minute. Go ahead, 760.
Yeah, Tyreek Nasheed had a reparations rally the other day.
Yeah,
and I remember on one of the shows, Jerry came on here and said he believed in reparations for Black people, but he don't think it should be cash. You remember that, Jerry?
Yeah.
What qualifies you to say it shouldn't be cash?
Well,
like
buddy, that's just my opinion.
Hold on. All other cases of reparations, it was cash. But when it comes to us, you, a white man, say it's not supposed to be cash. Now, where do you work? What's the name? What's the name of your boss? What's his number? So I can call him up and say, hey, you got Jerry working for you? Don't pay him in cash. Pay him in marbles. Seriously, like we not supposed to get cash, but what free education? So no, pay Jerry and marbles.
Well, Jerry's his own boss. Jerry's been his own business owner for 16 years. That's the first
Oh,
thing.
Well, we're gonna
gotcha.
for your services and marbles.
The second thing is that's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to believe it's right. I've explained why I think that there's a better way for that debt to be paid that would benefit Black folks long term. And I've explained that. Did you not hear that?
Jerry, all other cases still today, people get cashed.
Who was that? Who was that talking? Who was that talking?
No cash for everybody.
Why we can't get free school and cash, Jerry?
Pardon?
Oh man, hey man, look.
Why can't you just get?
Why can't we get the cash and free school? Why we can't get free education and the money? Why is that one or the other?
I know people working at Walmart with a master's degree, but that's all I say. I got to get out of here. Peace.
Appreciate
Hey,
it.
Who was that talking?
We got dirty. Oh, you just beamed out. You were next.
Who was that talking?
Go ahead, Max. You can respond.
Oh man.
Don't
First of all,
respond
you
to
know,
me.
I think you're full of shit, Mike. I think you're fake as fuck, bro. Like,
Hey, don't
talk a lot of shit
respond to me.
night.
I'm not talking
It's my
to
turn
you.
to talk, right? It's my turn to talk now.
Well,
right?
I never
Your turn to be
addressed
quiet.
you. I never talked to you. I don't want to talk to you.
Good.
I mean, we don't have anything to talk about.
Bye. Anyways,
You don't have anything to talk
Mike,
about.
you're fake as fuck, bro. You're fake as fuck. You talk all this shit. When shit go down, you are not about what you speak. You are not about none of that shit. You're not about making anyone better, having peace amongst your people, or none of that shit. If there's someone that disagree with you, they're not. All of a sudden, they become, call me, nigga. We didn't forget this shit. You were on motherfucking audio calling DJ a nigga when you sat here all day and gave me an hour-long speech about not using the fucking word. And as soon as you get mad, you use it with someone else. As soon as you get mad and if someone wants to confront you, you run away. As soon as you say, hey, call me, nigga, and the DJ comes on, what's up, Mike? Whoop, out the back door. Bruh, you are not that shit. You are not the end-all, be-all black people. You're not the president of the fucking black people. You're not the owner of the NAACP or none of that shit, bruh. Like, Jerry has his opinion. You have yours. You guys don't agree. Cool. But I don't know why you keep trying to run down on motherfuckers. We're sitting here watching boxing, bruh. Yeah, we're talking about race at all. And here you come along with some bullshit again and steer the whole show away to race again. We're talking about crackheads fighting Lennox Lewis. That's what the fuck we're talking about. Like,
yeah, and I understand what you're saying. And that's why I came on, is because I know that you love to refer to black folks as crackheads.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I saw the
bruh?
joy in your face
You're
when you
a
said
fucking
it.
idiot.
So it's all good.
I'm convinced
It's all
you're
good.
Homer Simpson. I think you're just a janitor at the nuclear plant, bruh.
Right,
You
that's
can't
what
be
I am.
this fucking retarded and be in charge of anything.
That's what I am. And you know
like,
what?
You're
And
a fucking idiot, dude.
that's
Like, what the fuck?
I'm a
I've
janitor.
never once ever in my life ever called black people crackheads as a whole, bro. I've seen some black crackheads and I've seen some white crackheads. I've seen some Mexican crackheads. Crackheads are crackheads. They're all pretty much the same race because they're all crack united. That's how that goes. So, you know what I'm saying? But nah, all this other shit you be trying to wolf and put on my jacket, say I said this or someone's inferring this when nobody ever did that shit. You were the master race baiter. You have like a black belt in race baiting, bro. Like, you were the greatest of all time, but you're still trash and you're fake as fuck.
Okay,
I
so
wonder, Mike, did
what
you
I'd say to you, though,
I got you next, Dirty Money.
is that I'm, even if I was a janitor, that doesn't define who I am. I'm still a man, right? I'm still a man that loves God, loves my family.
But you don't love white people.
And I love my people, and I love humanity. That's why I come on here and I say certain things.
Hold on.
So
If you love God, then everybody's your people. If you love God,
here's the thing.
then everyone's your people.
When it's all, well, you know what? Like-minded people. You're the type of individual.
Or like-skinned people.
I don't even know why.
Let him respond.
I don't even know why I'm responding to you right now. But you have a good night.
Well, Mike, did you hear me say in regards to Oliver McCall that I felt bad since you were listening? I never called him a crackhead. I said I felt bad for him because he was having a nervous breakdown. He came out of drug rehab. I didn't call him anything or names. I've never called you names that I can remember. You race bait a lot, Mike, and I respectfully, I think you suffer from a poisoned mind. I sometimes wonder how you get through life day to day dealing with white people in that field that you're in, because you got a deep-seated hatred.
Hey,
that was what I think.
I have a deep-seated hatred for what?
Pardon?
What do I have a deep-seated hatred for?
Basically, white people.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Oh, that's
you know what?
that's
I've got a deep secret. You know what I have a deep-seated hatred for, Jerry? I have a deep-seated hatred for inequities, for the way that black people are treated in general. I got a deep-seated hatred for that. Do I have a deep-seated hatred for people, and specifically white people? No, of course I don't. My wife and I, we constantly. She's a school teacher, and 80% of her kids are white children. We give things to them regularly. We take money out of our own pockets, buy things for them, make sure they have good Halloween. We financed their whole Halloween outside of her school, outside of her paycheck. We buy things for them for Christmas. You're talking crazy, man. What I hate is racism and the fact that black people are being treated poorly in this country and around the world. That's what I hate. You understand?
I hate it also. I don't think there's anyone on this panel that agrees.
No, go back and address what you just said about me hating white people, because that's what we're addressing right now.
I believe that. That's what I get from you.
No, that's not what if I speak the truth about what's going on, and I want that to change, it does not mean that I hate white people. It means that I hate the way that black people are being oppressed in this country. Do you not agree that black people are being oppressed in this country? Yes or no?
Being oppressed? No.
Oppressed in this country? Yes or no?
Nope.
Okay. Well, then that ends the conversation.
Too many millions.
I'm gonna say good night, Fred.
Black people. Too many millions.
No.
Wait.
Come on.
Wait.
Don't forget.
Even after I just told him.
Come on.
Even after I just told him and explained, if there's anybody who's a poster child for doing the right things, right? Putting my life on the line, for the country for over 20 years. All types of education. I don't smoke crack. I got treated when I went into corporate America in the private industry, I got treated like a terrorist. You understand? For 11 and a half years. Hey, I'm out, fellas.
We just got to.
God bless. Okay.
Wait. He gone. He gone. Birdman said, "Shit getting old." Jerry's voice is as important as yours, Fuller. It's an open panel for reasons we don't have to agree. The point is to learn from each other without being sensitive. KB says, "Mr. Fuller, don't run. Stay in your argument." And KB says, "We was watching boxing, chilling. Then here this nigga go with the." hey, that shit looked like I will. Hey, that what you call it? Super chat looked like I'm gonna get you, sucker. Like I read that looking at I'm gonna get you, sucker. Anyways, man, Dirty Money, what's up?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Very well.
We can't lie him,
man. I was just listening to this shit. You feel me?
Rico.
Y'all can hear me cool?
Very well, bro. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
I was just listening to this shit, bro. You feel me? I'm black. You feel me? I'm not gonna hop on this shit because my hair busted and shit. You feel me? Niggas been, chilling and shit, all that shit. But anyway, I'm black. You feel me?
You from the Bay Area, ain't you?
Nah, I'm from Selena, so I'm Mex's brother.
That's my little brother.
Oh,
I knew him. He sounded like he was from. He sounded like
Yeah.
That's
That's my real life brother. We came out of the same vagina. Real shit. But
yeah,
anyway,
we know each other. Yeah.
But anyway, I was just, you feel me, listening to it. What Big Bro was saying. You feel me? My thing is, you feel me? I'm black. Remind you, I'm black. You feel me? My dad went through some real shit. You feel me? My grandparents went through some real shit. You feel me? I've heard stories. You feel me? So them people that went through that shit, I feel for. You know what I mean? But when the nigga was saying, like, for me, I'm not even calling him a nigga. When that man was saying, you feel me? You don't know what it feels like to be black. Nigga, you don't know what it feels like to go through that shit. You feel me? People that really went through that shit probably looking at him like, bro, what the fuck do you really know about? You know what I mean? Like
Good point.
my grams really went through that shit. She from North Carolina, bro. They really went through that racist shit, bro. You feel me? So the shit over here is like they're like, nigga, this ain't shit. You know what I mean? So it's like all that shit. It's like, bro,
about
like
a guy that constantly brags about having multiple degrees.
like, bro,
working in
a
the
couple of my
corporate
best
world,
friends are
he's
white.
a nuclear engineer. Now, how oppressed can one be to achieve those type of goals? You can't sit there and yell about oppression and be in that type of a position. If you were being effectively oppressed, you never would be where he's at. Now, I've shown him great respect in the past because of his military service and his education. He brags about it too much. Everybody gets tired of hearing that, and sometimes I wonder if he comes on the show just to brag about that, because it gets redundant to keep hearing it. But you know what? Credit to him. It takes a lot of discipline to get those type of degrees and to get those type of accolades. But don't tell me that you were oppressed, or else you never would have got there. You're right. He doesn't know what real oppression is.
Bro, not even to cut this man off, but a couple of my best friends is white, bro. Not all of them are like that, bro. Let's be real, nigga. And I've been to their family house. They treated me like I was one of their own, bro. Like,
most white
real
people are
shit.
not like that, man.
Real shit, bro.
Of course, there's white people that are racist, just like there's any race has a certain percentage that are racist. But I'm telling you, put a shell in you. Most white people are not racist like that, man. We're just trying to get through life just like anybody. When he talks about crack affected poor communities. It wasn't just the black communities. Of course it was the black communities, but it affected poor white communities also. West Virginia is an almost white state entirely.
Destroyed
And
that
if you look,
country. Destroyed that state.
if you look in West Virginia, it has the highest case of alcoholism and depression and suicide year in and year out.
And that
And
new
it's all
drug. What's that new drug that came out in the 2010s? Is it heroin?
Molly?
No.
Fentanyl?
Molly?
Fentanyl or heroin, one of them. It's like the nation's capital.
Well, heroin, that's another great example. Heroin had a tremendous impact on the suburbs where it was this last heroin scourge. And it wasn't, it was just, it's an addictive drug like crack. Man, I've known and seen and got relatives dead in the ground from crack cocaine addiction. That's not, that type of drug doesn't discriminate. Did it affect black people a lot too? Yeah, it did, of course, just like alcohol affects all these hillbillies in West Virginia, right? Everybody up there is pretty much an alcoholic, and the suicide rate is tops in the country. It's top 3 every year because of the alcoholism. You know what I mean? One thing I know about race is, to me, it's less about skin color and more about status. That's the real discrimination. Poor people and rich people. That's where you see, because if you get poor white people and poor black people or poor Mexican people, all the problems are the same. They're pretty much the same across the board. But people that keep wanting to form a wedge. We always have a multicultural thing going on here. You know, you got Mex, you got Kyle. I don't know what Kyle. He looks like he might be mixed or
Dominican.
You mixed, Kyle?
Hey, we're all mixed, Jerry.
No. My great grandpa was a slave owner that sold my granddad into
we're all
slavery.
mixed to a degree.
But let me say this though. I gotta say something to y'all though, man, because I had Michael Fuller on my channel, and I basically interviewed him on why he thinks the way he thinks. Now, the thing about it is, he had to get all them fucking degrees just to get where he at. So he's more qualified in his field than other people, but he's not allowed to move as high as he should because of the what do we call it? It's like the coach. It's like coaching in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? They're comfortable with who they look like, so they give them the opportunities to coach the football team. That's kind of like how he's been done for his whole life. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that is Cowboy, slow down. Let me finish. So a lot of that is from personal experience because he's had to work 10 times as hard as the next person, and they were able to move up ahead of him just because they knew somebody in the field. They had the same credentials, they had the same schooling, and he was treated like a second class citizen when he went into fucking corporate America. So a lot of the shit that he talks about, he's been through. So that's why he's so adamant about education, is because he feels like he had to get so much education to get as far as he has gotten. And he feels, which is kind of true though. Let's be honest. Let's be honest, because they told poor white people that their status, you said status, that their status is higher than a rich black person. That's what they've told him, and that's kind of the feeling that he's gotten being in those circles and being in that field. So you got to forgive him sometimes on if he feels the way he feels. See, I am what you call a cobbler. You know what I mean? I kind of can grab a shoe, fix it, put my foot in it, figure out why this person thinks and acts the way they are. You know what I'm saying? Max needs a fucking hug. So every night on my show, I'm gotta drop just for him needing a fucking hug. You know what I mean? So now, you know, once you understand people, who they are and why they are the way they are, you can understand them and you can feel them. So it's not really about him not liking what you say, Jerry. It's the fact that neither one of you have the ability to wear the other person's shoes and to see where they're coming from. See, I got you, Jerry. Jerry grew up in the hood. Jerry grew up around a lot of black people. So his plight for black people is a little different. He's like the Jewish guy back in the day that had love for the black people because he was kind of going through the same things. But Michael Fuller can't understand that side of Jerry. I can. I seen it. I can see. You can hear how Jerry talks about certain topics. He said he's not against reparations, right? He just figures like he thinks in his mind a better way to use reparations is this way or that way. At least he cares enough to say he cares about us getting them and not saying, nah, fuck y'all. Y'all don't get reparations at all. You know what I mean? So we gotta feel each other. We gotta understand each other. We can't just be so caught up in how we feel about a certain topic that we brush over everything that somebody else has gone through. We got to learn each other, man. In order for us to become better individuals and human beings, we have to understand each other. Now, listen, I understand Max. He's a total piece of dog shit, but he's a great piece of dog shit. He's a piece of dog shit that came out of the best dog of all time. Although he's still dog shit, he's still a great.
It's a horrible analogy. It's a horrible analogy.
What? Are you being dog shit?
Yeah. What the fuck? What?
I mean, you are a piece of shit. You are a piece of shit.
Yeah, I'm American.
You know what I mean? You are a piece of shit.
Kane wanted to jump in. Welcome to the show, Kane. What's up?
That's fucked up, Kyle.
Fuck you, Kyle.
Shit bag.
What's going on? Good evening, everyone.
Fucking.
Fred, what were you guys talking about before
Jerry's hey, Jerry drinking over there. What's up?
What were you guys talking about before the race stuff?
Boxing.
Funny,
good old boxing.
Hey, Dr. Fuller, you welcome here anytime, man. Change the topic anytime you want, man. You welcome. I don't give a fuck. All y'all welcome here. You know what I mean? If you saw my family, this is nothing compared to my family that's coming Thanksgiving. Okay, we're gonna have a fight in this motherfucker Thanksgiving. I'm gonna be the referee in this motherfucker. Matter of fact, I'm taking bets on my family. I bet my uncle knock your ass out.
No, Fred,
what's up?
What I also want to say is, in respect to Max, I was like, Max, you gotta address this guy a little differently. You come at him too hard, bro. Like, too much disrespect.
I don't care. He's disrespectful. That's what you get. I don't care. I just do it aggressively. He does it on the slide. There's a difference, bro. Like,
that's probably why I honestly
don't sweat the technique.
Don't catch it. I honestly don't catch his like you're just like,
that
man,
motherfucker condescending like a motherfucker.
You're like, cut the bullshit. I'm like, man, this guy just got talking in front of him. He's like, man, fuck what you're saying, man. I'm like, damn, this guy going off on him. He kind of chill, bro.
Nah, it's because like for me, like whether we all disagree or agree on a topic, it don't matter. I just don't like seeing fake people. I don't like seeing people that put on one face, but when they backs against the wall, when the pressure start cooking, their true colors really come out, and they ain't who they was talking about. And that goes for anybody of any walk of life. It's just like, don't come over and push a hard line and give me an hour speech about some shit, and then as soon as you get mad, you do the same shit you're trying to fucking coach me.
Facts.
That's the only shit.
The
I
worst.
think with that shit.
Most annoying. No,
Hey, but
And the motherfucker always going off though.
Hey,
Did your
West
school
Virginia, West Virginia don't got a they don't got a crack problem. They got a meth problem.
No, but
Hey.
you also
those were some good points that you made when you were speaking there. But let's be honest, man. Life is about perception. We don't know that those things happened to Michael Fuller. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. But if at the end of the day, it's what he perceived happened. I've had plenty of jobs where I was passed over for promotions, where I felt like I was more qualified and likely was more qualified, but I didn't get. I had someone else promoted ahead of me. That happens. That
Were they black?
I don't really know for particular.
Jerry.
The bottom line
Jerry.
is when you're qualified, you're qualified. And apparently, for him to get where he's at, he had to have been qualified. You know, all of us are going to be subject to office politics and corporate politics. That happens to everybody. My wife is living proof. She's been at her job for 37 years and still not at executive level. She's got executives calling her for advice on how to deal with clients in the corporate leasing world. They're calling her for advice. She's been there 37 years and she's not an executive, and her wage is basically the same, counting inflation, as it was when she first fucking started. I mean, these type of things. But, you know, do I perceive that to be? I'll give you a great example. My wife's boss is a black guy who's been there for 10 years. I met him at one of their corporate functions a couple years ago. He's a super sharp dude, a very likable guy. And it's no surprise to me that he is where he is, because the way he carries himself and his qualifications, and he hasn't even been there a third of the time that my wife is, but he's her boss. I don't sit up here and claim, oh, there's something racist went on there. I can see why he is where he is. He has the motivation and he has the goods for the job. And so I'm not saying what Michael Fuller has experienced or what he told you. It wasn't the case because I wasn't there to see, but I know a lot of times it's how we perceive things. I know he mentioned in the past, specifically he's mentioned a couple times that where he was working, one of the white guys promoted his family members over him, which, listen, you know, that's how it goes. Family's going to look out for family, white, black, no matter what. I mean, I've seen that a million times. He's disgruntled about that. He probably feels it was race related, and that's his perception. And I get that. I try to understand Mike. But my problem with Mike is the same problem that Mex is his problem is the guy is a bit of a troublemaker. He never comes with something that's a solution. He comes with things that are divisive. You see, when
you're so white, Jerry.
it's all divisive. You know what I mean? He's got a problem with me mostly because I'm white. Because while he'll be quick to tell me that I don't know him and I don't know his experience, he doesn't know mine either. Yet that doesn't stop him from lumping me in to whatever hateful diagram that he wants, you know, that he's convinced of, and I get lumped right in. And he's especially bothered that I speak on stuff. Even though it's an open format.
Can I ask this? Because this seems to be a big point nowadays in this generation.
Hey Jerry, I threw you a bone though. You didn't take it. You were supposed to take that bone I threw you.
Yo, how the fuck do you prove you're not racist when people just come up to you and say, "Hey, what's up? What do you think about this?" You're like, "I don't agree. You ain't my race. You racist, huh?" No, prove you ain't racist now. Like, what the fuck? How do you make someone prove they're not racist who's never been racist a day in their life? Like, what task do you go about? Here, let me check off this checklist to prove I'm not racist to you. Like, that's just bullshit, bro. That shit puts you in a corner. Like,
well, Max, you gotta fill out a questionnaire. There's a questionnaire that we have. You know what I mean? That we can provide for you. Jerry, I gave you an out, man. All you had to do was say, "Yeah, man, the guy." There was plenty of black people that they overlooked me, man. You should have used that. So next time, I was giving that to you because Michael Fuller said, "Hey, man, I was overlooked." Then you say, "Hey, I was overlooked too, and I'm a white man." And the black guy got me.
Maybe sometimes it's not your race. It's just the fact that people don't like you because you're an asshole. Did you ever think about that? People don't want to consider their own personality as a reason they don't get something. They say, hey, look at my sheet. I did this, this, and this, but you're an asshole. Nobody likes being around you. So why would I put you in a leadership role?
Right. RP GG, you're not connected. And Deacon wants to chime in. Go ahead, Deacon.
What's up, Deacon? Look out below.
What's happening? What's going on?
What's up, Deacon?
Much respect. I want to say shout out to my good brother, man, Michael Fuller. I love that brother. That's my true brother from another mother, man. Good brother. It hurts me to see that brother gets disrespected on this panel. You know, it's really sad, bro. And again, to have such a brother to come in and, you know, this brother love his community, bro, and he shows it. And when he comes on this panel, not just this panel, any panel that this brother afford his time to, he comes truly to try and enlighten his people. Testimonies are from experiences. And when he gives his testimonial, it is for the enlightenment of his people to help to try and see what could we do to have resolutions for certain things, not just to always be in a disgruntled state of mind. No, bruh. But, you know, sometimes you could talk about things that somebody may be going through, right? And it's sometimes life can seem very lonely, meaning that you're going through something, you think you're the only person in the world going through it. But when you hear somebody else can explain that same thing, and maybe they got a story that you could listen to that say, no, I went through that, but this is how I dealt with it. This is how I overcame it. You know, those testimonials can come from anybody on this panel, but we have to be taken seriously as men. But if we are clowning and disrespecting each other, you know, a word came to me the other day about what I read is, you know, we don't post to, and I'm not saying nobody doing that here, but you don't post to argue the word of God because the listener can be confused. So when we are at each other like that, a good message could get lost and you could confuse the listener. You never know who you can enlighten. But if we're at war all the time, you just confuse the listener. And I got nothing but love. And also what came to me today, again, I'm always talking to God, bro. And this, I think about 10 or 11 o'clock this morning, earlier today, I was thinking about, believe it or not, Jerry came to my mind, and I'm conversing with God, right? And what I got out of that was, listen, I don't hate this guy. I don't hate this man. I don't dislike this man. I just don't agree with him. So, what came to me was, I don't need to come off in a way where it looks like or seems like I hate somebody, even though I don't feel that I do. I'm just very passionate. And sometimes my passion can be misinterpreted as something else. And I can't tell anyone how to receive my passion, right? So I just wanted to make it clear, because I disagree with anybody don't mean that I hate you, I dislike you. I just don't agree with you. And you know, again, these are things that we have to, you know, constantly, as men, we have to grow every day. stay green on the tree, bro. And I always say, man, I'd rather stay green, man, than to be fully rotten to the core. You know what I mean? Because once I'm rotten to the core, I'm done. So I'd rather stay green so I can grow, so I can yet learn. You know, I can learn from young, old. It doesn't matter, right? It's am I willing to receive good messages? Yes, I am. I got to know how to weed the bad from the good. That's anybody. Always knowing how to weed the bad from the good. You know what I mean? And that's salute to you, Kane. Well, we got to buckle up once again and stay prayed up, you know. But I'm praying that the storm don't do too bad to us coming through. But I just want to say, man, peace and love to y'all, man. And again, much respect to my brother Michael Fuller, a great brother. And again, I hope we can show a little more respect to that brother because he's deserving of it. You know what I'm saying? He's just very passionate about his people and his messages. You know, sometimes our passion can be received the wrong way if we just you know, understand we don't have to always agree, but at the same time, respect is due to a dog. If it's due to a dog, a human should be the first one up for respect because, you know, if we give respect, we should be able to receive it. And one thing about that brother, he's not going to just go out his way to disrespect you, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's just passionate about his messengers.
Don't you think respect is earned though, Deacon?
And
walk in
again,
the building and be like, respect me.
and again, brother, if you listen to him, again, he doesn't go out his way to be disrespectful to you or anybody. He's just very passionate
you must not
about
been
his
privy to
message.
some of these shows then, Deacon. I can tell you missed a couple episodes because that is not the case. That motherfucker has been straight up disrespectful many times when I ain't even talked to him. I ain't even addressed him many times I've been disrespected. Like, for me, though, I'm not as sensitive as some of the older heads, so I don't really give a fuck. They're just words. But we all know shit was done in reverse. Never hear the end of it. And I just don't like hypocrites, bro. I understand that at times we all get a little carried away on our opinions and our, like you said, our passion for them. But when dudes start threatening acts of violence and talking about they got guns and they got it on them and motherfuckers come see them and shit, that's a little bit past passion. And it's hard to respect someone like that. And then a couple of days later, hear an apology about it. And then next week, it all goes over. It happens again. It's like the best apology is change behavior. I think we all know that as men. So if someone keep apologizing about the same shit over and over and over again, then they're not really sorry about it.
I don't think that's true, brother.
At that point, it's manipulation.
No, I don't think that's true, brother. Again, you got to understand. Now, you just said something earlier, Kyle. It's about getting to know the person. If you know a person, you cannot just, you know. Again, if I had a relationship with you, Kyle, and we bumped heads a lot, you know what I'm saying, right? But at the same time, I know this guy don't really mean me no harm, but I know he can get real foul, right? But he'll apologize. But I'm out, you know, me, I'm just different, bro. I tell you, I will accept the apology just like I would give one because I'm man enough to do that, right? Everybody not man enough to walk off. Everybody not man enough to apologize. I see cats don't have an apology in them, bro. I'm talking about if it's first quarter, head off. Ain't no apologize. Head straight off the shoulder, right? And those are the ones either wind up in the graveyard or on, you know, or doing 2 life sentences for whatever. I always been taught as a kid, boy, it take a man to walk off. See, everybody don't have that in them. Everybody ain't got it in them, bro.
No, don't try to twist that shit, Deacon. It takes the man to walk off when someone's coming at you. You can't go start some shit with someone, they start fighting back, and then you walk off. That's not what they meant by that statement. Hell
no, bro. No, listen, bro. Again,
pop shit, apologize.
Again, bro. You cannot take my words and put it the way you want to put it. I'm explaining it how I'm giving it. You don't have to receive it. But again, don't tell me what I mean.
It don't take a man to walk off. Not in this situation, it don't. That's not manly to start some shit. To come on a panel when no one's talking about you, no one's talking about the subject matter you're about to talk about. You start some shit with other people. You come looking for motherfuckers. And then when they say something you don't like, you want to cry and run home. That is not manly at all. Don't just, you know, in case there are some young children out here, that's not manly. Don't start no shit with someone and then run away when they're ready to pop back at you. Now,
It's
if
not.
someone starts some shit with you, walk off and be the bigger person. But fuck that other shit.
Let me be clear. Trust what I'm finna tell you, brother. This man is not a coward. Far from running away. And I'm telling you this straight up. A lot of times, cats be talking to people. You really don't know who you're messing with, bro. You really don't. With that disrespect like that, man, bro. It seemed okay sitting behind the computer, but life can get real in an instant, bro. Everything is not sweet like that, bro. Just hear what I'm saying, bro. The man is a good dude, but he's far from being a coward, and he's far from something to play with.
You don't know that. You don't even know him.
I'm telling you this.
You don't know him. You never met him in person.
You don't know what. You don't know. You don't, bro. Don't tell me I don't know this man. Don't tell me I don't know this man. Don't tell me that, bro. You don't. Come on, bro.
That's your homie? Y'all Batman and Robin or what?
Straight like that.
Oh, nice.
Straight like that.
So who's
straight
Robin?
like that?
Who's Robin?
Straight like that.
You the sidekick or he the sidekick?
Straight like that, bro. And I'm telling you, people on this, listen, bro, shit can get real in an instant, bro. Everything is not a game, man. Everything is not. Listen, man. That's what I'm trying. I'm telling you, bro. Respect is a serious thing, bro. When people go out of their way to disrespect people with impunity, bro. I mean, with no absolute breaks on your disrespect, bro. I'm telling you, that's not cool, bro. That's all. That's not cool, bro.
I'm glad you finally spoke on Mike. I appreciate that, Deacon. I respect your opinion. Now that you, as long as you're fair about everything, I think you're right. It's not right that Mike comes in here, disrespects people with impunity. And thank you for speaking on that. I appreciate you guys.
Okay.
Well, let me say this, Deacon. I'm glad to hear that you got with God about your feelings towards me, because in the past, I've felt very disrespected by you when you told me, shut up, I don't want to hear from you.
Hey, hold on, brother. Hold on.
Let him respond.
No.
Let him respond.
Hold on, Paul. Listen, hold on.
You gotta let him respond.
I understand. I'm trying to let me nip this in the. Come on. See what you're doing is not.
No, Deacon, I can't let you do that, Deacon. I can't let you. We let you talk for 15 minutes, man.
Right.
Now you got to come back in the shop and let this man speak. It's out of respect. You just said we got to respect. You're talking in your calm voice, and I don't want to disrespect you because I know you're going to get on. Oh, Fred, I'm not hating, but you got to let the man speak, Deacon. All right? Please, man.
Let me say something to the.
No, Deacon, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. Because I wanted to cut you off 5 minutes ago, but Deacon would have been like, see, Fred is like that, man. You let that white boy do that to me, man. No. We let you get off. Now let this man get off, Deacon, okay? Everyone is in agreement with Fred right now. I don't give a fuck if you pro or against. And like you said, I'm not entertaining who wins this debate. I just think, well, everybody should get off. We're working overtime right now, Deacon. All right, we're working overtime. For you, Deacon, I was about to end the show, and you DM me, said drop the link. I was about to say, give y'all final remarks. And I said, no, Deacon want to come in because this is his lane. This is his topic. So I said, let's extend the show. It's 10 o'clock, Deacon. I'm out of here at 10 o'clock. I got to take the kids to school in the morning.
This is crazy, bro.
Oh, you got to let them get off.
It's not about that, man.
It is. See, you don't have to. See, Deacon, you think the show is all about your opinion. I am all about your opinion, but it's about everybody's, Deacon. For real, man. Let the man get off, man. Let the man get ahead.
Thank you, Fred. Like I was saying, I felt disrespected by him. But more than that, I felt a little bit befuddled about how he speaks about God and he speaks about black unity, but at no less than 3 times have I heard this man threaten other black folks with physical violence. 3 times. Now he can call that, but like I said, that's going overboard when you threaten people with physical violence.
Yeah, he got me blocked. I can't even see what he's typing.
I've never disrespected Michael Fuller. I've never called him names or been disrespectful to him like that. In fact, I've tried to be cordial with him. But just like Max said, you can be disrespectful and be intellectual about it while disrespecting somebody, or you can just cut the bullshit and just give it flat-footed like Mex does. So that people handle things different way. Mike can be insulting and disrespectful and condescending, but he does it with an intellectual voice. But it's no different than someone just coming out and saying, you're a fucking asshole, because at the end, you're still disrespecting. So practice what you preach. If you want to talk about God and black unity, don't threaten black people with physical violence.
Black panel show, but yours. You know what I'm saying? And this great file, bro. I just came and extended my hand to this man. He come back talking about what I did a week ago, right? Bro, I just deaded that. I just told you I'm moving past that. And you stuck. This is what I'm saying. Look where the mind stayed at. Look where the heart's at. That tell you what you're dealing with. That's demonic, man. That's demonic. That's straight demonic, man. That's man, for me to come and say what I just said, for him to come and shove shit on what I just said to him.
Hang in there, KB.
Don't you think that's demonic, man?
Sure, whatever you say.
Nothing but demonic spirits, bro.
Right. Talk that shit the next time you're threatening somebody's life.
Listen at that. Listen at him. Listen at him.
That's what you.
Listen at this man. That's straight demonic, man. That's demonic.
Hey, Jerry, sure he said he'll kill you a couple times, but he said sorry. Let it go. Sure, he called you a white devil, but he said sorry. Let it go.
Straight kids, bro. Demonic kids.
From the guy who issues death threats on the regular.
Bruh, let me tell you something about me. I'm going to show you something. You talking about issue death threats? If I wanted to do anything to any one of you, it don't take me nothing. I can sit right here. I don't have to threaten nobody, bruh. If I want you, bruh, you'll be done with. I don't want you're not worth anything to me, bruh. That's why I told you in the past, and I can see now why when I said what I said, that's just not worth me talking to. You're you're just a demonic white man.
Oh damn. That was super respectful.
Come on, man. Listen what I said. This man, look what he came back with, bro. And just listen to him. Straight demonic. The damn devil, bro.
Damn, there it goes. The true colors always come out when they get mad, bro. You and Mike.
You call it what you want. Let me tell you something, Max. Max, I'm gonna tell you something, bro. I tried my best. I tried my best to help you, bro. But you know what? You digging a hole for yourself, bro, that you might not listen, bro. And I'm telling you, everything is not a game, bro. And ain't nobody threatening you, bro. Trust what I'm saying. But you gonna keep on, bro. And I'm talking to you like a big brother would, bro. You keep out here disrespecting folks in these streets, bro. You gonna get what you're looking for, bro. And I'm just trying to talk to you, bro, and tell you pull back on some of that, man.
I ain't never disrespected no one that didn't disrespect me first, bro.
Okay,
I'm
telling you, everything is not a game, bro.
Oh, I know. Who you telling?
Okay, we go KB then. It's quiet. KB, I appreciate you being patient, man.
Milk is magnesia.
Man, yo, you know what?
Hey, that should be his intro. Milk.
Hell yeah. Hey, you know, white only pies. These is white only pies. Man, nah, but yo, dude, we are all over the place tonight, ain't we?
Yeah.
Yo, but I was gonna say this,
barbershop.
right? Deacon was talking about respecting Michael Fuller and all this stuff, right? Man, you know the thing about Michael Fuller that I really don't like? He comes in and he makes a lot of great points. Some of them I do agree with, and some of them I don't. But anytime that this man gets challenged, he always runs. You cannot respect that. Like you just can't, bro. I mean, that's my only thing with Michael Fuller. Just stop the damn running. As soon as the damn heat get turned on, this nigga's out. It's like, come on, bro.
Can I explain that to you, brother?
Please do.
Okay. What it is, he's the type of guy. Now, see me, sometimes I can get so angry, so I might cuss and do things that I wouldn't normally do if I wasn't really heated, right? He's the type of guy, he understands what his levels is. And before he gets there, he just rather pull off because he thinks highly of his image. And not just that, he has to be in certain areas and he don't want to be seen like that because he don't work too hard to throw all that away in some type of conversation on these platforms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
Okay. My bad. Go ahead.
And before he gets there, he just pulls out. That's it.
Okay.
He instigates the conversation.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, we don't want to hear anything else about him talking about disrespect because you cannot respect that. Like if you come, like we don't really know you like that, like to that point. If somebody challenges you on what you say and you be like, all right, y'all, I'm out. Nobody's going to respect that. Like you may be able to get away with it the first time or the second time, but every damn time, as soon as he gets challenged, he is out. So I don't want to hear nothing else about disrespecting Michael Fuller. I mean, unless it's like some real like disrespectful shit, like to where you talking about his family or some shit like that. But other than that, like you can't respect that. You just can't.
I respect your opinion, brother. That's your opinion. I respect it.
All right, we got J Dot coming in. J Dot, are you a real person, man? You a real person, dog? Yeah, I see you moving. Okay. What you on probation, nigga? What you in the dark? What the fuck?
No,
His lights off, Fred.
I got my son in the house. And
Oh, okay, I respect it. What's up, J Dot? What you got?
And
welcome to the show, by the way. Welcome to the show. Thank you.
Thank you. I really feel like there are things that I don't agree with everybody on this show. I see a lot of things that are there's disrespect and everything, and I just think that us all being men, we need to bring some kind of decorum together. We can disagree. There's things that I don't know the gentleman's name, the white guy. Not to call you a white guy.
Jerry.
I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but
Jerry Heller.
There's thing there. What? Say it again.
Jerry Heller.
Jerry Tasker.
Okay. There's things that I just he can never walk in a black man's shoes, and likewise, I can't walk in a white man's shoes. But at the same time, I feel like he comments on things that
no, you don't.
That
you
are
just took it back to bed.
Jerry. We're talking about Jerry.
Yeah.
He comments on things that are just like that
Kylie,
that are really
Kylie,
just out of
bedtime. You should have asked for those a while ago. No.
Pause your mic, Cal.
Mute your button. Cal, mute your. I got Cal. Go ahead. Kyle got to play.
So
bad too. Nope.
And I look at Deacon, and I look at Michael, and these men have been through things that they could never explain. Deacon, I'm sure he's just hearing some of his talks and things that he said. I hear it in his voice. I hear the passion in his voice. I understand he's gone through some things. I'm 34 going on 35 with one child that's 1 year old. So me being a black man living in this world, living for this long, I've been through some things. So I can imagine these gentlemen being in their 60s. So I give them that space to be human, because we're all human. And some of the, I understand you might not appreciate how Michael does certain things and everything, but I totally agree that, I don't agree with everything he said. There's like, especially with the Dr. Umar stuff, I did not agree with him, but I respect him enough as a man, color aside, that I could disagree with you, but I'm not going to throw names and do this. And I love this community. I really respect this community. Fred has really created a beautiful community for people of all, ages and races to come together and have just come together and talk and to disagree. And I just hope that, in the future we can kind of come together without cussing and everything. We could disagree, but at the same time, just have a mutual respect. That's all I got to say, guys. And I hope you guys have a good night.
Hey, thank you, brother. That was beautiful, man. I appreciate you, man. God knows that was needed. Thank you.
Thanks, Jay.
Yes,
I can't
sir.
see you, man, but good luck. Thanks, man.
Oh yeah, you guys gonna hear me more, but I
Thank you for
love
coming
this
too.
community. I really do.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah,
do.
man. Please come
Hey,
through,
hold
brother.
on,
That was
Jay.
beautiful.
Jay, what race are you before we could value your opinion?
I'm
He,
I'm a
American.
black man.
American.
Oh,
Black
okay,
man.
yeah, okay. You can speak on these issues then.
Yeah. Hey. I'm a truck driver, and I go through stores every single day. Just picking up stuff, and I know what it feels like to get followed around every day, and it's something that I'm just used to. You know what I mean? I can buy my son, my family, whatever I want, but I understand what it feels like to be, followed by these security guards. Like, oh, you look at him, and so they're you're not saying that happens to everybody, but that's just my experience. I mean, I understand what it's like to be pulled over by the police just because I'm in a BMW, and why are you in this neighborhood? What did I do? Like, what law did I break? So not saying that that's just something, that, I'm not using that as an excuse. These are just obstacles that you overcome, I'm not using it as like a crutch or anything like that. I'm just saying that, there are definitely a lot of discrimination that happens with minorities in general. And I'm sure that Jerry has his own experience to where he feels that he's been discriminated against, and not to, I'm gonna end with this. Deacon, Michael, and Fred, and there's a host of other people's names on here that are successful in whatever field that they've done. And I look at it, and those aren't always those are, what's the word I'm trying to say? That's not the everyday story. Those are the exceptions. Those are the exceptional people that have made it through, those tribulations. But there's a lot of people, there's a lot of young, minorities coming up that don't have that, person behind them that's like, hey, how can we get better? Let's do this, let's do that. It's a lot of struggle. So, Jerry, sometimes you really need to, I understand what you mean where you say that if they talk about white people, I could talk about black people, but there's a lot of ignorance to where I hear in the things that you say. And I don't mean ignorance to where you're stupid or anything. I just mean ignorance to where that you have not experienced the experience that these men have had. So when you hear people talking passionately, it's, there's some there are words that are not being said, but you can hear it. You can hear it in their voice. So I'm gonna end with that, and I hope you guys have a good night.
Appreciate you.
Peace, man. Love you, brother.
Are we gonna go around and give closing remarks? Because we got 3 more people want to join the queue. And I appreciate you, Jay. I'm gonna beam you out. And come back, man. Make sure you come back, dog. Please.
Absolutely.
Anytime.
Absolutely.
Anytime.
But the only thing I disagree with, he said he was 34 going on 35. So he's basically calling up everybody in the shop stupid.
No, he did not.
Yeah, he said he's 34 going on 35. I mean, who do you know that's 34 going on 47?
No, I'm just saying. I don't think he's gonna call you stupid. I mean, I get your point. I get your point.
Okay.
Yeah, I get your point. I get your point.
Yeah, you want to give your closing remark, Deacon?
No, not this time. I'll wait. I'm not going first this time.
Okay, no problem.
I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead. No problem.
Man, everybody have a good night. Stay safe, and if you can, in your state, stay strapped. And I'm out.
Yeah. Hey, and speaking of that, I appreciate you. I got you, Michael Fuller and Birdman. I'm very interested, and we're gonna talk about this tomorrow. The election in Georgia and in LA. I think those are a referendum on black Democrats, black male Democrats. Will the black men vote for Stacey Abrams, and will they vote for Karen Bass? I'm not voting for Karen Bass. I'm still 50.
I don't like her name.
Yeah, I'm still 50-50 on voting for Mike. I don't know, but I'll tell you guys when I get to the polls. But I don't know. I haven't voted for anyone since Obama.
We got Debo down here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I do. So I don't know who I'm voting for, but I'm very interested how I'm going to respond at the polls. But I'm not voting for Karen Bass. So that's for damn sure. Jerry P, I'm gonna let you give your closing remarks. Okay, you can go first, and then we'll go Birdman. Michael Fuller give his closing remarks, then we'll go Max, and then we'll just work our way down. All right, go ahead, Jerry.
No,
not you, Jerry. Oh, you can go next. Yeah, sure. There's another Jerry coming.
I'm sorry.
Man, I listen to the show all the time, man, and like I'm 34. I got 3 kids, and Max sometimes is disrespectful, but it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. It ain't what you say, but it's how you say it. Sometimes you gotta wrap shit up in a gift and then give it to people. You can't just give it to them, man. And sometimes I do think Fuller be a little disrespectful. He kind of, but Max be raw with it. He just go at your head. And sometimes you can't do that to get people to understand, man. Sometimes you gotta wrap it up to them and give it to them nice, And that's all I gotta say, man. Sometimes it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. Sometimes it ain't what you say, it's how you say it, man. And that's all I gotta say.
Appreciate you. Thank you, Jerry. And now we can go to the other Jerry. Appreciate you, Jerry.
Hey, for the record, I don't even wrap my kids' Christmas presents, so that's not happening.
Hey, Max, you should have said the Arsenal line.
Man, let Jerry get his closing remarks. Kyle, you get 30 minutes at the end of the show. Go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah, I understand what that guy was just saying, but I disagree. I feel equally as disrespected if you're disrespecting me on an intellectual level or you're just being raw with it. So people have different approaches, and I understand what he was saying, but, if you're being disrespected, what does it matter? If you're using fancy words and vernacular, but you're still saying something disrespectful, then that's what you're doing. Other people take a different approach and cut right through the chase. And so that's just 2 different approaches. I'm also going to say this again. I wonder, and when we talk about, well, you're not black, you can't never understand. I've already addressed that a million times. Of course, I could never fully understand. But I wonder if people on this panel, in particular, could sit back and listen to how they talk about white people. They talk about white people oftentimes in the worst ways, and they categorize them as just that, a group, as if it's everybody. And so this happens nightly. The problem that these guys have with me is because they're not used to hearing a white guy speak on these matters. They're used to talking about white people and every move that white people make and just talking terrible about white people, and they're used to that, but they're not used to hearing a white guy even say anything about black folks and what they call black people problems. I call them people problems primarily, but that's the deal. They're not used to that. And Fred, I've been on your show a bunch of times. You've never heard me refer as black folks as crackheads or any type of insulting or degrading type of stereotype and things like that. I'm totally against that sort of shit. To me, that shit is racist. You see what I mean? But when I do speak on matters, social matters regarding black folks, they're just not used to hearing it. They're used to talking and commenting on about everything about a white person. But if a white person does the same, it's, well, you have no right to do it. I see that differently. I see it for what it is. If you got the right to talk about everything about a white people and every intention and talk poorly, because I wonder sometimes if they even realize how poorly that they're talking about white people, but because they're used to doing it, it's okay. When I do it, it's not okay. I don't see it that way. However, in the end, tonight is a perfect example where we were having a lot of fun talking about Oliver McCall and boxing, which this is primarily what the site is. But Michael Fuller, and no disrespect of Michael Fuller, who's disrespected me repeatedly on an intellectual level, he brought in this. And what's this do? It causes division. It causes people to talk about white people in the worst way and to lump us all in together and make all sorts of accusations that is based on their perception. And that wasn't that we were having a lot of fun prior to that. So, and lastly, it also should be said that I understand what Deacon's saying about Michael Fuller, his intellect, and that he doesn't like to go down a rabbit hole and, this and that. But at the same time, just like the other guy said, don't come on a social forum and open up topics and not expect that you're not going to get some heat back. Because the last time Fuller was on the show, it was two black folks that attacked him. And he said he felt terribly disrespected and he wasn't going to come back. It wasn't me, the white guy. I was trying to have his back. If you remember correctly, Fred, I'm sure you probably do. I was trying to speak up in favor of him, even though he's been disrespectful to me. But what happened? It was a black lady and another guy that got on him and told him that he runs in the house and all sorts of shit. I thought it was disrespectful. Me and Mike are the same age, and I'm a bit old school. If you call me a fucking asshole, I get offended by that.
Wow.
Some of the younger generation, they don't see it like that. They, like Mike said, it's just words or whatever. But old school guys, we don't take it that way. We take it a little bit more personal. So I understand, Mike, but at the same time, don't come on a platform and then when shit gets heated, turn and run.
Wow.
Well, good show, Fred, and wowzy.
I'm doing, Jerry. I like that.
Go ahead, Deacon. You can respond. Go ahead.
I want to talk last, but I just wanted to say to him.
No, Deacon. No, we know.
All right, I ain't gonna say. I'll wait till I get ready to go. Then I'll wait till I go. I'll wait till I go.
Man. We gotta go.
Ahead.
Thank you, Birdman. Appreciate you, Deacon. Appreciate you, Jerry. Go ahead, Birdman.
What's up, fellas? What's up, Max? Cal?
Birdman.
Everybody.
Birdman.
Well, I was just sitting back thinking, man. I was like, we have an open panel here. Anytime Jerry speaks, none of us might agree with him, and sometimes we do agree with him. Same with Mex. Mex is crazy. I don't figure that shit out. But anytime we talk about something, I feel like if one of those two say anything about something that's dealing with black people, that people go at them, and that's not right.
Hey, Fred, Michael in the back, let him in. He say, please. Put him on the panel. He ain't gonna wait his turn. Put him on the panel.
Back together again.
Hey, and I just feel like whatever we're talking about at the barbershop, we're all brothers regardless. That's why we come back. We're always coming back. So I think they've earned everybody's respect in the barbershop to just speak on anything we talk about, just like we can talk about anything, or especially dealing with white, black, or whatever color it is. It's for everybody. That's why we're men here. That's what we come here to do. We wind down to the barbershop, so we got to kill all that fussing, man. Everybody's opinion should be respected, and we're not trying to outgun anybody by just like, man, you're wrong. This is opinion. We keep it moving. I don't know if I made any sense or not, but shit, it gets old. I mean, I don't want us to be in here fighting all the time over something like that, man. That's all I had to say.
Appreciate you, dog.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
you, Max.
Man.
Love y'all,
Give
man.
us Max, and I'll bring Michael Fuller in here so he can give his closing remarks. You want to go next, Max?
Oh yeah, I'll go next. Yeah. You know, I think there's a lot of fucking hypocrites on here, you know what I'm saying, that talk about one shit and are deeply connected to an issue, such as if you are a person of any color that does not like other people of other colors treating you differently based on your skin color, then maybe you shouldn't do it to other people. How about we start there? Now you want to talk all day about disenfranchised, we're oppressed, and people treat me different, blah, blah. Look how you treat people that don't look like you. Look how you talk about people that don't look like you. Look how you try to hush people and tell them they can't even have opinions on subjects because they're not your skin color. So it sounds to me like you're part of the fucking same problem you're trying to fight against. Like, that don't make any sense to me. Now, when it comes to the OGs, I would say that personally, this is only my side of things. When it comes between me and Deacon, I have no problem with Deacon. Me and him talk many times. There's times we get heated, whatever. I don't consider him as fake as fucking Mike. But Mike, over the time, is just I've seen too much, bro. And the shit when he told DJ call me nigga, that's when I just lost all respect for him. That shit and the chaotic truth of calling fucking middle schoolers hard R's and not getting that same pushback he tried to give everyone else. I see too much picking and choosing, man. And for me, if you stand on an issue, stand on that shit all the way around, no matter who's involved, man. You can't start copping pleas for your people and bullshit like that. Like, as we saw, my little brother came on today. He's in the process of suing Tesla, so he got some time off work, so he might be on a couple more panels. But he watches this shit, man. I'll show him playback from the day before. Man, look what happened yesterday. You know, I'll play it back on YouTube for him. He'll be like, man, you gotta call me when this shit happens. Because like I said, yeah, my brothers are black, but I guarantee both of you motherfuckers that they're more my people than they will ever be your people. 1,000%. So like that blanket color politics, race shit, it's got to stop, or else we're not going to get nowhere. You're feeding into the same problem you're supposed to be trying to help solve. It don't make any sense. And I will say this, if there is oppression, which I mean, I believe there's a little bit, but if there is oppression in 2022, this is the worst oppression of all American history because it ain't working. Ain't nobody being held down. Everybody can still get jobs. We got nuclear scientists on here, business owners, all kinds of shit. Like the prime oppression from before and the prime years of oppression, wasn't nobody being able to do none of that shit. So, you know what I mean? I think that it's dangerous to me, especially I think coming from the old heads, it's dangerous to spew this rhetoric because it makes me think, what did you teach your children who could be teaching my daughter's class or who could be coaching my daughter's basketball team that age? Like, what have you taught your children and what are they teaching children and so on and so forth? At some point, you got to break the cycle. You know what I mean? So even if you yourself are traumatized from race-related shit, maybe you could look at your child's life and be like, yo, baby, you don't even got to deal with half the shit I dealt with. The same way my brother was just telling you about grams, man. The same shit that maybe you and Mike have went through that younger generations and me, myself haven't. You guys definitely have not gone through anything of your ancestors that you want to protect at all times, of your future ancestors for hundreds of years ago. You guys didn't go through none of that shit. So really the shit that you went through is futile compared to that. And it's going to get less and less as time goes by. I just hope that we all, we can all be cool because really I ain't got no problems with nobody in real life. If y'all see me at a fight, hit me up, man. I'll break bread with you. We go eat some, drink some, talk some more shit in person. It ain't really shit, man. I think too many people are connected to their ideals. You gotta let that shit go, man, because it sounds hateful and it sounds disrespectful. And me personally, I don't tolerate disrespect very well. As you can clearly see, if someone disrespect me, I'll disrespect you back. If you want to be cool with me, I'll be cool with you. If you want to apologize, hey, man, I got a little heated. It's good. Keep it pushing. But repeated apologies for the same shit, I'm not going to listen to the third, fourth, fifth apology, bro. Like, by that time, you already lost me. But it's much love to all y'all, man. Y'all go ahead and get your spit off. I'm going to listen to all the bullshit y'all about to talk right now in the chat.
Head over to the boxing section.
I'll be in the section.
Appreciate you. Go ahead, Michael Fuller. You want to give your closing remarks? Go ahead, bro. Are you in here? Oh, I didn't bring you in here. Go ahead, Mr. Dr. Fuller.
All right. So anyway, appreciate all the comments that were reasonable. Obviously, there were some unreasonable comments. I don't appreciate those. Appreciate Deacon and also Kyle. I think you guys understand me a little bit more, and that's a positive thing to me because that means I've communicated effectively to some degree to at least two people. So that's good. When I heard some young fella get on here, and I'm 53 years old. I'm not in my 60s, but I heard some young fella get on here and say something about, I run and this, that, and the other. It comes down to it, man, that again, I know my limitations, right? And if someone is cursing at me and using foul language, talking about me all crazy, then I'll get off. Because see, here's the thing. We can't have a conversation that stays on a certain level where there's communication back and forth, and I'm just gonna get off. That's it. I'm not gonna be arguing with people publicly like that. I'm not gonna do that. That's not in my repertoire. That's not in my character. I'm not gonna do that. Now, am I a man? Of course. Do I get upset? Yes, I do. And then and I make mistakes when I get upset. That's why I'll just say, you guys have a good night. You know what I mean? But by no means does that mean I'm a coward or anything like that. I'm not a coward or, not someone who just runs from conflict or anything like that. It's that I know my limitations. And when I'm in a conversation with someone who's cursing, calling me out my name, all that kind of stuff, then it's time for me to get off, because it would do me no good to come back with that same spirit, that same conversation publicly like that. Okay. So when I come on, really, man, I come on because I love my people, and I love humanity. I love this country, man. I'm a patriot. Okay. I'm a patriot. That's why I put my life on the line for the country for 20 years. I want to see what's best for this country, and what's best for this country is that everyone that lives here is treated correctly, is given the same opportunities, treated on a square, right? Jerry talked about me disrespecting him, or said that I hate white people and that kind of stuff. Me talking about the truth, as I see it in regards to how people are treated and how I've been treated in my life. I think Cal captured that pretty succinctly. Hopefully you guys heard what he said. But that's not hatred, man. That's the truth. That's the truth. And so me speaking that truth is not speaking bad about white people. I never said anything directly bad about white people. So I don't know where Jerry gets all that from. I've said bad things about the situation and the system that black people were exposed to. The vast majority of black people, the masses of black people, are not being treated correctly. And really, even those of us who have done all the right things, we're not being treated correctly in these corporate environments. And I don't, whatever Jerry wants to say about that, if that's hatred to you, me saying that, then okay, that's your interpretation of that, but that's not the case. I don't live by hatred. In fact, shoot, some of the best people that I know right now in regards to relationships that I have, they're not black. I mean, because I don't, my field, I don't work around African-American people, but I've got great relationships with other people who are not black. The bottom line is that, there is a large contingent that continues to stop us from progressing in these environments. And that trickles down, not just at my level, that trickles down to the masses of black people who live in this country. And that's what I'm talking about. And you guys, but there's no conversation there because Jerry didn't think black people are oppressed. So that ends the conversation. I just think at the end of the day, man, it's always good to be on the side of what's right. If someone's not being treated correctly, then it needs to be talked about. Am I perfect? No, I'm not perfect. If you call me a MF and coward, right, it's something in me, it's something in me that, but I'll never do that publicly. I'll never respond to that publicly. I'll do that in private for one One is one that I like that.
Your mic messing up, Mike.
Oh, okay. How much did you hear?
Yeah, you clear now. You can probably repeat what you said last.
I was just saying that, I don't want to be at odds with people publicly like that. I feel like if we can talk privately, one-on-one, get understanding, and if there's something that, that needs to come as a result of that conversation that may be negative, then so be it. But that won't be publicly, right? I think Mex got on here and told a bunch of lies about me threatening people and all that. That's a lie. That's a lie. I've never come on here and threatened anyone with any type of violence or anything like that. The only thing I asked him to do, and I used a word that I shouldn't have used, but I was very upset. I was hot. Okay. And I asked him to call me. Okay. But there was information that I said before that. I asked him, is it okay that we talk? He said, yeah. And I said, call me. And I put a little explicative on the end of that. I probably shouldn't have used it, but at the end of the day, I'm human. You understand? And I am a man. And, I prove that every day. And I'm also willing to prove that my family and myself, we will be protected, point blank. So, I mean, I'm not coward. I'm not a coward. I don't cower away. I just understand that there's limitations to what I can deal with. A person calling me out of my name, cussing me, I can't.
Straighten your mic up.
Oh, is it still going out?
It did for a minute there, but
okay. Yeah, all right. The big thing is I'm on my phone now. I'm using my phone. I'm on travel right now, so I'm using a hotspot. I'm using a hotspot from my internet connection. All right, guys, that's it, man. I just want to let you know when I get off because I don't want to go beyond a certain point where I'm communicating with people, disrespectfully. I don't want to do that. So if a guy's calling me a bunch of this, that's, and the other, cussing me out, then I'll just log off. You understand? That's what that's about. All right. Have a great night, man. Have a great week. I mean, at the end of the day, for me, man, I just want us to do better. I want us to do better. I mean, we are people that have been mistreated, and we don't have the things that we need in order to have a good future. So we need to continue to educate ourselves, continue to love one another, continue to appreciate one another, and make the world a better place as a result of that. When we bring ourselves up, we bring the whole human family up. When we support ourselves, we support the whole human family. Okay, and that's my word. Peace out, fellas.
Peace and love, family. Yes, sir. Appreciate that.
Go ahead, D.
Yes, sir. I want to say something real quick about Jerry. I like I said when I first came on, I don't hate that man. I don't dislike that man. I just do not agree with him. Right. And I don't want to do the back and forth with him. I tried to extend peace to him. He came back and tried to bash me, and I tried to stop that. Not in argument, but I wanted to say, hey, man, did you not just hear what I just said to you? And this is how you're going to come back at me? That's what I felt was demonic. And then you say that you don't like how my brother Mike speak so eloquent to you. That reminds me of the slave owners. If they caught a black man reading well, speaking well, they would kill him. So you have that demonic trait in you. That's why you cannot stand a black man who's educated. This is not new. There's nothing new under the sun. That's why I understand who you are. That's why I know you appreciate a platform like this, where you are allowed to come and do cowardice stuff like you do. Get on a computer or on a phone, because you would never have these conversations with a black man face to face. This is a Christmas gift to you, to find a black platform where you can spew out this type of garbage. This is a gift to someone like you. No, you're not a racist. And no, we don't call people like you racist, because you don't own or you don't You don't control the power structure. And we say this all the time. We're not talking about the Jerrys of the world, but you are a bigot. You are a bigot. You have that mentality of putting black folks in their place, telling them what they should have and what they should not have. You don't deserve reparations, not monetarily, but you should get it this way. Who the hell are you when our people done suffered and slaved and died in this country and built this country and was here before any human ever put feet on this ground? We was here first before anyone. You are the one who has no foundation. You are the one without a real home other than the caves. 6,000 years of cave living. We know the history. But yet, black folks still try to extend peace to people who are whipping us across the head. You can go into church and kill 9 of us, and we still come out and apologize, give forgiveness to the murderous beast. And then what your people do? Take them to Burger King. "12-year-old Tamir Rice with a toy gun in his hand. 3 seconds, he's dead. And you look at us and tell us, well, there ain't no racism going on. Y'all ain't got nothing to complain about. Yeah, you know what? It's a few of us are doing well. Well, we're not talking about the few. We're talking about the many who don't have. That's why it's demonic for ones who are sitting at the top or doing well to brag and boast about what they have when so many of our people are suffering. You'll never see me doing that. If anything, I'll tap my pocket off to help you. What can I do to help you, to help elevate you? I'm not going to dumb you down, because when I dumb you down and disrespect you, I'm disrespecting God. I'll say that again, black man and black woman. When I disrespect you, I'm disrespecting God. And I know better. That's why if I get into it with one of my black brothers or sisters, man, it tears me down mentally and spiritually and soulfully. I have to repent immediately. I got no problem with apologizing, because when I do that, I'm disrespecting God, man. And we got these folks coming on here. This
Check
is a
your
gift.
DM, Fred. Check your DM.
This is a gift for the bigots to have a platform of black folks where they can come and spew out all. And then you got some of our own people who have the same talking points as the bigots. You don't deserve reparations. You're only going to go buy a gold chain. You're only going to go buy a car. Who gives a damn? And then listen at the ignorance of it, right? Listen to the ignorance. If you listen to these bigots, they think that we're going to get a check, spend it, and they say you're going to spend the check and you're going to be back broke begging the white man. Let me tell you something. These folks owe us trillions of dollars. Trillions of dollars. There's no way, if they do right by us. And see, I don't know if a lot of y'all know, but we have lawyers been working on this for over 2 decades or more. So it ain't all just about Congress. No, we got lawyers working on this. All they won't do, these attorneys has been on the job, bro, behind the scenes putting in work. So we got to listen, somebody, well, what's the sense in having a rally, a reparation rally? You know what? We need that. We need the lawyers. We do need to vote. We need to hit them from every angle. Every angle. And when people telling you not to vote, guess what happened? When you don't vote, and the wrong people get in office and pass laws to jack us up, then it's hard for us to complain when we didn't even put ourselves in the game. Don't let folks trick you talking about it don't mean nothing. If it don't mean nothing, why the hell they doing all they can to stop us from voting? We got a governor here in Florida. Now, they had passed a law where felons had the right to vote, right? Now, since he's running for office on the second term, what he did was reverse the law. Now people are getting locked up left and right. Now you got people scared to go vote. Who's that's favoring? Ron DeSantis. He's deboring his way through down here. This man passing laws left and right. This man done gerrymandered the map at the top of Florida, done broke up a whole black district to favor Republicans. When for decades after decades after decades, this was all a black district. He done chopped it all up. Nobody's doing anything or saying it. Well, I can't say they ain't saying nothing, but ain't nobody being able to do nothing about it. We got to fight these folks on all fronts, on all cylinders. And question anybody who tells you otherwise. Why are they doing all they can and have been before you and I was born, been doing everything they can to stop you and your ancestors? And when I say ancestors, that don't mean you got to go back to slavery. We're talking about the civil rights. Those are your ancestors as well. Because sometimes you say ancestors, they think it's just slavery. We've been fighting for a long time, even till this day. Like Deontay Wilder say, till this day, we still fight the ones who are willing to get in the fight. But you got some who want to sit on the sidelines and point and talk about, don't do this, you're a fool to do that, and ain't doing nothing but trying to discourage you. But why? What is their motive? What is their motive to tell you not to do this, not to get in the fight? What is their real motive? Why are they telling you not to do this? What is the agenda behind them telling you not to fight? To leave you in your current situation? Man, I've been fighting all my life and I ain't gonna stop. All my kids are doing well. My oldest son is an engineer. All of them are doing well. All of them. Because I put in the work to make sure that they didn't be like me. The way I came up, I refused to let them come up the way I came up, bruh. I was not going to put that on them. Because that shit wasn't cool. By the grace of God, I'm not in the graveyard or doing life in chain gang, bruh. God. My kids ain't never had to want for nothing, bruh. Because I sacrificed my body, my life. There was a purpose bigger than me. Find your purpose, man. Find your purpose, young black girl, young black boy. Find your purpose. And know this, God give us all power. All of us have power, spiritual power to call things into existence. Practice your power. I am living proof that you can call things into existence from a thought.
Amen.
That thought is your prayer directed to God, and it manifests. But God, yes, he will give it to you. You haven't seen situations where God done bless you over and over again with the same thing over and over again? Like what? Yeah, well, I'm gonna run. It's just like somebody say, somebody out there selling dope, right? They're spending the money, blowing the money. Well, I ain't worried about it. I'm gonna make some more money anyway, right? God will bless you, but you wonder why you can't keep it. Why you can't keep it? You go out there, work hard, same thing, on the job. God is blessing you, right? You think you're doing all the right things, but prayer without works is dead, because if whatever God is giving you and you're not putting the real work behind it to sustain it, to keep it, to grow it to a higher level, you see what I'm saying? Understand what your power is. God gave you the power to speak things into existence. It can be damning to you, or it can be something that elevates you. Don't let the power that God gives you be a weapon to you, but let it be a elevating force in your life. An elevating force, because I know I've came from the dead, bro. I literally have come from the dead. And I understand by practice. Everything that I spoke it into existence. It had manifest, and I've lost some of those things because I did not put the work behind it. But when I realized what was going on, oh, yeah, God will give it to me, but I got to put some work behind it to sustain it, to keep it, to grow it, to keep it, to grow it to the next level. All right, y'all know I'm long-winded. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all. Peace and love. I appreciate everybody that came on. We may disagree, but that don't mean we hate you or dislike you. We just don't agree on everything. You know what I mean? And peace and love, man, once again. Thank you.
You're not done, are you?
Yeah, I'm done. I can go some more now. You want me to go some more?
Please.
No. Oh,
please
no.
no.
No,
God, no.
You know I got plenty more. Well, y'all just pray for us down here, bro. We got another little semi-storm coming through. You know, there's nothing to be taken for granted, you know. But I know God has all power, bro. And he's also bestowed it upon us, man. So I speak prosperity, peace, blessings upon us all, bro. You know, in abundance. Let your cup run it though. Let God bless you, bro. Call it into existence. Let that be your thing, man. And let it be true. And practice that, man. Practice your power. Work on your power. Whatever you need in your life. We want a lot of things, but whatever you need, you understand me? Speak to the things that you need. And it will manifest. But you got to put work behind it. All right, that's the word. Peace and love, family.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
That he started at 10. He started at 10:42. 10:42. It's 10:57.
Bro, my show starts in 3 minutes. What the fuck is going on?
KB says we got close to getting some form of reparations with Trump and Ice Cube, but we voted him out because the media told us he was a racist. And Kane, you got to respond. Detroit, I'm gonna let you get off. Kane, you got anything, Kane?
Fred, I just want to say good night to everyone. I honestly was about to fall asleep. It was long-winded.
I fell asleep.
It was a long-winded.
Almost.
I can see it in everyone. And also, I just want to give out this point. I want to know, on the election in California. I mean, do you think it's going red? Do you think it's going blue? I mean, on the book, it's going blue.
Never go Republican in terms of statewide. In Los Angeles County, you can't be a Republican. Orange County, you could be a Republican, but in LA County,
you're just talking about your local.
Yeah, I'm talking about the mayor of LA. But I'm interested. I'm just interested to see because the black men are going to decide, you know, where are they going? Where are the men going? You know, you're going to have the Mexican women and the white women going with Rick because, you know, I think there's like pretty much not even, but 60-40 Republican Democrats, Latinos somewhere in I think in Los Angeles, and then you got shit, everybody black is Democrat in Los Angeles. You know, it's in the high 90s. So I'm just interested what the black males do in this vote. Don King in the hospital. Wow.
No, because Deacon was mentioning DeSantis. I was like, no, in my mind, when he was saying that, I was like, man, like, Deacon, you could say that, but according to the bookmakers, like, he's minus 7,500 to win. I was like, it is what it is, bro. like I know. I mean, I don't know much about my local election. I just know that I'm just gonna be voting for the governor, my senate, and then I'm pretty much gonna leave those blank because people in my city pretty much know what they're doing.
Right.
But you guys have a good night as well, Fred.
Appreciate you.
Already know.
Oh yeah. You think Asian women gonna vote for Karen Bass? I think Asian women. You think they'll vote? I'm gonna ask Dre who she voting for. I don't know. We don't talk politics, and I don't really care. I don't even bring that. Politics don't even have value in my house. You know, it has value from the standpoint of did you do it, who'd you vote for, but it's not like why'd you vote for it. It doesn't, because I know my last name means more, and I don't want to add value to politics in my house. What's up, Detroit?
Oh man, what's happening, man?
Oh man.
Shout out to the motherfucking barbershop.
Yeah.
Man, Kyle. First, shout out to the motherfucking chat. Y'all had me in tears.
Yeah, the chat was lit tonight. I held back a lot tonight, for sure.
When Deacon got to going in, I swear to God, I'm sitting over here. I damn near fell out my chair. I've been laughing so hard. Then Kyle, your ass, you look like, damn. Oh my God. Man. And Deacon be preaching, but you know, I ain't even jumping over to the race shit. It's the end of the night, man. The internet is undefeated again, man. I'm sliding over to the boxing section. Get it in, fellas.
Man, I appreciate you coming through, man. Thank you for coming through, man.
You know I'll be laying low in the background.
I know. Thank you. I appreciate you for sure.
All right. Go
Thank
ahead up.
Head over to the boxing section, man, because
we
supposed to be live right now. And me and Fred gotta do our closing remarks and shit. Let me move my time back and shit. 30 minutes. I gotta decompress from this show to the other show and shit. Me and Fred, we talk after the show is over, but I doubt that's happening tonight. Fucking
probably don't. It doesn't have to. Yeah, man.
Yeah, leave, boy.
Not today, huh?
Anything else?
Imagine Jerry and Deacon on a conference call.
Who?
Jerry and Deacon on a conference call.
This basically is a conference call.
No, I'm saying like just imagine them two where they both long-winded as hell, dog.
It would need a mediator with a mute button.
Definitely.
Well, why would they even talk on the phone? They'll just yell at each other, and then one is gonna get tired and just say "fuck it," put it on speaker.
Hey,
man,
Deacon gonna be ready. GPS Jerry, like, hey man, I would never forget that night he cut up.
Look here, partner. Look at here, partner.
He's a
I'm about to get that on the shirt.
He a changed man now, man. He a changed man. He a changed man.
Shit.
Here, partner.
Yeah, but yeah,
we'll never right now.
Yeah, we'll never forget that. That was
classic shit. Classic.
That was a moment.
All right, man. Go get it. Wrap this shit up. I'm going, baby.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Thank you, dog. Thank y'all for coming through tonight. I appreciate y'all, man. And I'm just saying this: all voices are welcome here. I don't give a fuck if you a KKK member. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm interested in that. Why? You know what I mean? And shit, or if you the King of Zamunda, you welcome here. You know what I mean? Or as pro-black or Mexican or man, listen. I think it's important that we understand people's plight, and because I grew up in a vacuum, Kyle. Because I was born in Harlem, raised in between Harlem and the Bronx, and then I came straight to South Central. So many kids that grew under the that grew up under the duress that I grew up, we only see life from one vernacular, you know, from one vantage point. And I think that these young men and women that listen to the shop, that pick us over other platforms, I think it's important that they hear other people's voices. And like I saw Tennessee on the map, but I had no idea what life was like in Tennessee or Georgia or, you know. So, like I said, I didn't know what down south music was until I got to college, man. My roommate was from Oklahoma. He was from Lawton, Oklahoma. You know, and he introduced me to Big Mike, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And that's how I got my introduction to down south music. So I was very narrow-minded. So, and I don't want us to grow up narrow-minded. And so I think it's important that we hear from a privileged white man who's an entrepreneur, a privileged Black person, a young 27-year-old Black man, Mexican man that's figuring it out, because it's really, really important. And I think I was somewhat of a victim, you know, especially me being artistic, Kyle. I wasn't the gangster type. I never even pretended to be a gangster. You know how Black kids pretend to be a gangster? I never, not one day of my life have I ever sagged, have I wore a rag, have I ever crip walked. I just never really never even wanted to be a part of that situation. You know, I know how to code switch in conversation, but in real life, I've never done none of that stuff. And I think that quite possibly my childhood, I was shortchanged, you know, obviously not having a father, you know, and mom doing the best that she can. I was shortchanged in terms of seeing the world. You know, I thank God that my grandfather sent for me in the summertime, where I was able to go down south and see my family, which was another epic center of Black people, you know. But we had a white housekeeper named Bobby, you know, and I wish him well. Hopefully I get a chance to see him again one day. Hopefully he's still alive. And you know, and maybe this place can be a place where little Frederick can see the world, you know, and see the world through other people, you know, because I only saw it through Bloods and Crips and my neighborhood, you know. And so that's why and obviously I have a multicultural home. It's 3 races in my house. And I learned more. I learned about adulting and parenting and family with Dre as much as I learned from my grandfather and my mother and anybody else. You know, her pacing is Hall of Fame worthy. You know what I mean? And you know, so yeah, man. So that's why I say every voice is welcome. I don't believe in if you're Black, you only got to hear from a Black voice, and because white people hire Black people hire white people, and Mexican hire Black people, and now we got a melting pot at work, and now we can't coexist because now we done lived in this vacuum where white people believe Black people just want to be on welfare, and Black people look at white people as they think they're superior, you know. So so I think the shop is a great place where Kyle can be a full-time father and lend his voice when he can, you know. So that's the beauty of it, man. And you know what I did? I introduced I was telling Lincoln about the importance of truckers, you know what I mean? And Lincoln and I had one of our, I mean, we've had conversations about truckers, but I really got into him this weekend or last week about the importance. Yeah, thank you, Miss Pretty.
Okay, I'll bring it upstairs.
About truckers, the importance of truckers, you know. And because he asked about L the other day, like, are you still boxing with L? You know, and I said, no, L is driving trucks, and then we got in the value of trucks. So what's up, Kyle?
Nah, man. You know, my kids are like Deacon 305, man. They just don't quit. You know.
We heard them. We definitely heard them.
Man.
Which is a blessing. Yeah.
These
So
kids won't go to bed today, man.
yeah, they up late.
Dude, they're gonna be. Listen. She getting her ass up to go to school in the morning, man.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
know,
believe it.
That's the highlight of my day. You know, man. Man, we always turn this into the race conversations.
Yeah.
But it was going. We was on our way to a great boxing show, though, bro.
It was fun though. I ain't gonna lie. That show took me down memory lane. Like
Yeah,
I literally remember where I was. I remember being in a Whittier College, watching De La Hoya, Purnell, watching Trinidad, De La Hoya. I remember jumping up and down when Bernard hit him with the body shot, and I'm talking about Oscar and Bernard. I remember, and it's funny how I remember that fight was at the Hilton. And
what cup are you using?
McCall and what's the young man's name?
Go get it.
Oh shit, Lennox Lewis, and yeah, those are some great memories, man. I remember watching many of those fights with my stepfather, you know, and yeah, Wally Washington, yeah, very good man. He was a great man to my mother, just died, you know. So but yeah, go ahead, Kyle.
You think if he lived longer, you think things would be different for you?
Oh, for sure. Oh, you about my stepfather?
You always say
Yeah,
highly of him.
yeah. My stepfather. I brought him up before. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, awesome man. He was much older than my mom, Wally Washington. He was in the Korean War.
Go watch your shop.
And what happened was he passed away. I was in 10th grade, 9th or 10th grade. I remember going to Washington. So I would say 92, 91, he passed away. I would say 92 because 11, 12, I went to Venice. And I'm not sure how long they were married, maybe 2 or 3 years or somewhere in there, because we had moved into his house, but he passed away. And he had yet to the properties went into probate. He had a mobile home, a boat, and a house, and a shoe shop in front of the house. So he was a hardworking man that it worked out for him. You get what I'm saying? And everything went into probate, and they had to divvy it up with his ex-wife and his kids or something like that, because my mom wasn't on. And this is just me using common sense now that I'm older, you know, and I understand how it works. And then so we end up moving to an apartment on in Mar Vista, which is like a subsidy of like Culver City, Mar Vista, Venice, you know, in that area. And end up going to college from there. So it worked out. I was a very good basketball player, and that got me through. And but yeah, I would say it's interesting you asked that question, because I'm very grateful that I went to Venice. I'm very grateful that I had a great friend named Hanok. I'm very grateful that I have my best friend now, Naira, and we've been down since 93, since I moved. Like my best friend in the whole wide world. We done traveled 20, 30 countries together. So I don't want the man to die, but I know it would have been more challenging for me had I stayed on Florence and Hoover. You get what I'm saying? That's interesting. I never saw it. I'm glad you brought that up. I never saw his death as a tipping point for me until today, because I would have went to Fremont High School. I would have been a star basketball player, but I still would have bullshitted. Like, and I think Venice gave me, it expanded me. It was the first time I can recall having a non-black and Mexican classmate. You know, I had whites, I had Arabs that went to Venice High School, so on and so forth. It was like Venice Beach. When you go to Venice Beach, it looks like Venice High School, you know. And I'm thank. I mean, it's scary to say I'm thankful that I had that opportunity, but if I'm saying I'm thankful, then that means so I'm going to rephrase and say I think I got everything out of post his death because I don't want death because he was a great asset. You know, we went camping. We never really got into the manhood shit because I was so young. I was like 6th, 7th, and 8th, and I know he was an older man. I think he was like 20 years older than my mom, you know. So I think he was probably tiptoeing about having conversations with me about growing up. And I was the only child because my sister had ran away when I was 14, maybe 15. My sister ran off and she never came back home, but she went to Job Corps.
Shout out to Job Corps.
Yeah, with Job Corps, you know, she had my nephew. He gets out in March. He was supposed to get out this month, but he got caught with a cell phone, so they gave him an extra 6 months. And but yeah, he was a really good man. I mean, like exceptional man, and he treated my mother well. But my grandfather was like the shit. Like my grandfather was like uncomparable.
But he died when you were younger too, right?
He died my senior year, 95, January of 95.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, so 2 years after that, and my grandfather was the truth. Like many of y'all grandfathers, man.
Yeah, but I love my grandpa, man.
Yeah, he's still alive though. Your grandpa's still alive.
Yeah.
You lucky. He 80 something, man. I wish, you know, I never had a conversation with my grandfather about Malcolm X. Never really had I never had grown man conversations with him, you know, and I just wish I could have. If I would have made it to college, I think our relationship would have changed, you know, would have gotten elevated. But I was such a kid, you know, that I didn't inquire.
Yeah,
You
man.
know, I had go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I had 2 OGs, my grandpa and then basically the guy that raised me.
Mm-hmm.
So between them two, man, they was OGs, man. So you had to be on your toes.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Boom! I remember exactly the day when my sister ran away. She called me on my birthday, and what year was that? 92, 91, somewhere in there. Yeah, I remember it vividly. And I'm like, why you call me on my birthday? Because we had house phones then. And we didn't have cell phones. And so yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So my sister's in Baltimore now, doing well. She works for the airline. She had my nephew too young, you know. And my sister didn't have like the disciplines that she has now. And so Scooter, his name is Scooter, his first name Sean. He got into trouble, and I think he has 1 or 2 strikes now. And so if he gets caught one more time, he gets 25. And he's approaching 30 if he's not 30 already. And he's like a Scooter. I call him Scooter. And I still see him as like a 6-year-old kid. I don't see him as a grown man. And his childhood was robbed from him, I would say, because of my mom had kids young, Rhonda had kids young, and now you got to deal with the behaviors of that. You know what I'm saying, Kyle? And it's I did my best. I believe I did my best with Scooter. And the last conversation I had with him was, I said, you got to go to your probation officer, parole or probation, parole officer. And I said, or you're going to end up in jail. Prior to that, I called my sister. She lived in Baltimore, and I paid for her to come out here. And I says, you got to come save your son. I said, you're his mother. So she drove out here from Baltimore, and he was out here, and I presume he was doing well. I bought him all his clothes and stuff that he needed, and all his toiletries and stuff. I didn't give him a lot at one time, but I gave him enough, where he could survive for 2 weeks or a week, and then come back and reload, and and he stayed with me for about, I don't know how long, but the motherfucker wouldn't. I was a school teacher then, and I remember him not being home on time, and he would sleep on my porch. So I said, "No, you can't come in this house." And the reason why that moment is so important now that I look back on it, and I'm just having these thoughts out loud, because I haven't had this conversation since me and Kurt talk about it, because Kurt was the center of my basketball team. He's the guy I went in and saw in whatever that city is up north, right? And Scooter stayed with us when I was. He would come over on the weekends and stay with me in college. And the reason why that's so important is, now that I look back on it, for the first time I had this thought, that young man didn't respect authority, and he didn't have a chance because he didn't have a father. You get what I'm saying? He never had the chance. Rhonda's 16. Rhonda had him at 16, 17. I don't know how old, and the kid never had a chance. And now he's working.
You think you should have been a little more lenient?
No, I couldn't be. Couldn't be. No way. Because I was lenient. I was fair. He's staying with me because I'm the only one. His mom can't handle him, and I thank God for my sister. She helped me out in college a lot, and but he had no respect for male authority, and you can see it now, and God bless him, because now he has to come out at 30. Hopefully, he got some skills. He did the 8 to 10 years, and hopefully, he got some skills under him, and when he gets out in March, when he's at that halfway house, and hopefully he has enough skills under him. I mean, I'll be a voice of reason, but I can't uproot my home. I can't uproot my home, and there's a lot of peace in my home now, and but I want him to succeed. I'm gonna do everything possible if he does his parole or probation in Los Angeles, but I think he just needs to leave Los Angeles. Hopefully he's granted to go stay with my sister in Baltimore, and get a fresh start. Yeah, I don't know whether I was right or wrong. I was young, 22, 23, just getting out of college, first year teaching, and he's staying with me. So, but to put a bow on all of this is why you got to have two parents in a child's life, because you can see, as I'm going down memory lane, you can see the dysfunction with young women having kids and not being reared and having a man, and it's in all poor communities. All poor communities. You see poor white people in the Appalachians doing the same thing. You see poor black people in Harlem, same thing. It's people think poor people males believe that their dick is their highest form of currency, and poor little girls, poor women think that the highest form of currency is their vagina, and so now they're trading currencies, and when you get that, you get dysfunction, you get illegitimate children, you get my nephew who's on the second strike, and it's tough, man. So he's gonna have it tough in March. And maybe he goes to Job. Maybe he's too old for Job Corps, but
he's dating. He's way too old.
way too old. But when he gets out, y'all hear about it because I'll be spending a lot of time on the phone with him, and I want him to do well. Like he was like my son, but I wish him well, and he's 30 years old. So whatever he chooses is what he chooses, because the next time he goes in, it's au revoir, sayonara, peace. And that's his choice. And we have to live with the choices that the people we love make. And that's the harsh reality. I believe I did the best I could. Kurt told me that. And I felt relieved when Kurt told me that. Kurt told me this summer, he said, you did the best you could with Scooter. We call him Scooter, not Sean. And I believe him. I did the best I could. I didn't have the money then. I had the time. And I gave him time. Now I got the money and the time. And now he's going to come out of jail expecting me to give him $1 million. No, I'm not saying he's going to do that, but it doesn't work that way. You got to make it happen, Captain. And you got to earn your family's trust back. And but yeah, man, this show is long as hell. If we going in 4 hours,
too goddamn long. Man, y'all head over to the boxing section, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Niggas stepped all on my toes and shit. We live right now. The boxing section. It's easy. Find us. Head over to the boxing section. Like, subscribe, share.
Facts.
All the good shit, man. I'm head over there right now, man. I ain't staying the whole damn time.
Yeah. Thank everybody who came through tonight, man. Everyone's welcome. And I think that's what makes this show amazing, is that everyone's welcome. And if you got smoke for me, you're welcome. But y'all been hogging the show up. Nobody's been able to beam in and hate on me, man. I'm kind of jealous. Oh man. So yeah, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow, man. This was an awesome show. Either way, we have great shows. You talk race, you talk boxing. It is what it is. Yeah, man. So we'll see, man. We'll see if he can. What's that word? Recidivize, citizen, whatever word that is. Hopefully he does it, man. I really believe I did my job with him the best I could, and we'll see. And I'm excited that I get no more texts after tomorrow, man, for 2 years, man. Thank God, man. Hi, this is Sally from the Democratic Party. Please vote no on Proposition 1. How many texts y'all got today? It makes me not want to vote. It makes me want to unregister. But I'm going to vote tomorrow. I'm leaning towards Rick or voting for myself. I don't know, man. I voted for myself in the primary. I tell you that. So we'll see. Turn to be the greatest, yeah. All right, meet me at the boxing section, man. I'll see y'all over there, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I'll holler at y'all, man. I love y'all. See y'all tomorrow, dog.